On day 1, I spawned in as Shadow the Hedgehog. Hey, check out my stats. Look how many hearts I have. Ooh, I also have a shiny red stone in my inventory. I wonder what that's for. What is this? Ugh, I'm stuck in some kind of glass tube. Hey, let me out of here. Just then, I saw a young girl walk slowly up to me. Who are you?
I'm Maria. I know we were very close, but I don't have much longer. My sickness is worsening. I'm going to get you out of here before it's too late. You must find the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Everyone's fate depends on you.
Maria touched the glass and everything started shaking. Just then, robots burst into the room and started firing, hitting Maria! Maria! She fell to the ground and was gone. All of a sudden, everything around me went hazy. I was being teleported somewhere. Next thing I knew, I was in a green field somewhere. Huh? What's this? I'm a baby hedgehog now. I'm not very strong at all.
Come into the den, Shadow. You've played long enough in the field. It's nap time.
I looked for the voice and saw someone who must be my mom, but I was starting to feel dizzy and weak. I'll make sense of this after I sleep. I went into the den and took a nap. On day 2, I woke to the sound of shouting. I ran out of the den and saw my mom being chased by none other than Sonic the Hedgehog.
I can sense you have a Chaos Stone here, and you're gonna give it to me, 'cause I gets what I wants, you dig?
I don't have any emeralds, I swear. Leave my family alone, you big bully.
I couldn't believe how mean Sonic was being. This wasn't like the Sonic I knew. What was going on? Hey, leave my mom alone. She didn't do anything to you. Since when did you become the bad guy, Sonic?
Who is this pipsqueak? What, were you born yesterday? I'm the greatest supervillain to ever exist. And don't you forget it, kid.
Go inside, Shadow. Dr. Eggman will be here any moment to help us.
Dr. Eggman? Helping civilians? What was this, opposite world?
Sorry, kid. Your mom is going with me until I find the Chaos Stone she is hiding. But I'll leave you with a little parting gift.
He placed some TNT at the den and it blew it to pieces. I tried to get to my mom, but Sonic grabbed my mom and in no time, he was gone. He was so much faster and stronger than me now. Then I had the thought, Maria must have sent me to an alternate dimension. I better get some tools and build some shelter from mobs. And I need to rescue that lovely owl that is apparently my mom. I've never had a mom before. I have to protect her. I got to work punching some nearby trees. With the wood I collected, I made myself a crafting table, then crafted a sword and a pickaxe. With the leftover wood, I made a basic shelter to hunker down in until I knew what to do next. Later, I'd turn it into something truly special. I finished it in time before any spooks came out to get me. I wasn't certain about anything anymore. Not in this weird reality. On day 3, I decided to go explore the area. Maybe Sonic wasn't too far away, and then I could get my mom back. As I explored, I noticed a few gold rings floating in the air. I collected them and followed in their direction. I could still run fairly fast, even for a little guy. They led me to a beach, where I started thinking about my first problem. Sonic was looking for Chaos Emeralds too. Wait a minute, maybe I really do have one. Maybe that's why he was drawn to the den. I pulled out the red stone in my inventory. Yeah, this was definitely one.
That's a mighty big stone for a little guy like you. Let me help you with that.
I turned and saw a bat lady standing next to me. Rouge?
Huh? How did you know my name?
We've met before, but I was much taller. I'm guessing I'm in an alternate reality, seeing as you don't know who I am.
Okay, Pipsqueak. Sounds like your bottle of milk went sour. That, or you're messing with me. And nobody messes with me, sugar.
She went to nab the red stone, but I was quicker than her and dodged her advances. In my world, we're part of Team Dark. I was sent here to save this world. Maybe after you've had some time to think, we can join forces. Until then, I'm out. I ran as fast as I could so Rouge couldn't get the stone. If she was anything like she was in the world I came from, she was an expert thief. I made it back to the shelter and decided now that Rouge was on my radar, I'd better make some improvements. I'd better start mining some stone. I ducked into a nearby cave and mined out a solid amount of stone. Using the stone, I improved my shelter. Then I used the remaining stone to craft a set of stone tools. Just as I finished, a bunch of crabs came crawling at me out of nowhere. Looks like I'm in a pinch. I took out my new stone sword and started swinging. What a bunch of crabs! I didn't do anything to you. It's a good thing I had just made my new sword because I was able to deal with them quickly. When the last one disappeared, I saw that it had left behind a pair of shoes on the ground, along with some crab meat. Cool! I'll try these on tomorrow. For now, I better get inside before more mobs come. On days 4 and 5, I woke up hungry, so I filled up on some crab for breakfast. I'd need to stretch my legs after a meal like that. Let's see what these shoes can do. As soon as I put them on, I started growing and gaining hearts. Finally, I'm a normal-sized hedgehog. Not as big as I was, but it'll do for now. I immediately sprinted around the area. Yee-haw! I spotted another trail of gold rings and followed them up and over a grassy hill. I soon found myself blazing through a jungle biome when I came across a big purple cat going fishing. Big?
Oh, howdy. Who are you?
I introduced myself and explained why I was in this world. In my world, Big was a good friend to Sonic. I asked him if he was friends with Sonic.
Friends with that mean dude? Nah, I'm just friends with Froggy here. I don't know much about anything else other than fishing.
Big's frog friend greeted me. You're just like the Big I know, and he always helps when the world needs him. Will you come back to my base and be part of my team? Froggy and Big agreed, and I led them back to my humble base. To no surprise, I had some visitors already at the base. Some Orbinauts were surrounding the base. We couldn't get in. Big and I swung into action, literally. We used our swords and Big's fishing rod to get rid of all of them, but one had creeped up on me. It was about to take me out. Luckily, Big caught sight of it and gave it a big thump, taking it out. Whew, that was a close one. Thanks, Big. I owe you one. To pay him back, I decided to make him his own special box house. Cats love boxes, and I wanted to show him how I appreciated him. The house was soon done, and Big and Froggy checked it out.
Not too shabby. This will do great. Thanks, bud.
On days 6 through 8, I woke up to the smell of fish and carrots. I went outside and saw Big and Froggy had built a carrot garden. Big was by a campfire cooking up some fish.
Hope you're hungry.
Big tossed some cooked fish over to me, and I gobbled them right up. I had no idea how I had survived without him. I thanked him for breakfast. So there's a cave nearby that I wanted to explore. We should see if there's any iron in there, just in case Sonic decides to show up. Big agreed, and Froggy hopped on his back. We searched the cave, and were lucky enough to find lots of coal and just a little bit of iron. We walked outside, and I noticed there was a whirring sound, and from out of the trees came a drone.
That's one of Sonic's drones.
Luckily, Big knew what to do. He got out his fishing pole and began pulling it down out of the sky. As it fell to the ground, I ran over to it and smashed it with my sword. This was a piece of cake, like air whack-a-mole. Just as I said it, another drone came out of nowhere and dropped a bomb on Big. The explosion was enormous and knocked me back. I got up and bolted back to the fiery embers. To my utter horror, nothing of Big remained. The blast was so powerful that Big the cat was no more. No! Big! I'm so sorry! I got you into this mess, and poor Froggy, gone too! My sadness turned to red-hot rage. I will avenge you, Big and Froggy! It was then that I noticed a small red wisp staring at me. It looked sad. Oh no, did those bad guys use your powers for evil? I'm sorry. I know you only like the good guys. It wasn't your fault. Come on, I'll look after you. You can come back home with me. Once we arrived back at the base, I made a monument for my friends. I was so sad I couldn't see them. Using some of the materials I got from the drones in mine, I upgraded the base and made a spot for the red wisp to stay. It was time to start plotting my revenge. Time to get crafty. With the little bit of iron I collected, I managed to make myself an iron sword and chestplate. I would need to find more iron later. On days 9 to 10, I awoke with a start. My father was in the room. Well, not really. It was a hologram being projected in my room via my father's powers. He was searching for me. My father, or creator, as some would call him, was Black Doom. He's not the kind of dude you want to be related to. He doesn't care about others. I was only created by him to do his bidding.
Shadow, I sense you. You are close, but not close at all. You will return to me, and we will finish what we started. Mankind will be fed to my army, and the world will be mine. And if you do not return, I will find you soon. It's only a matter of time. Thus saith Black Doom.
The holograph disappeared as quickly as it arrived. Black Doom was hot on my trail. I needed to speed up my search for the Chaos Emeralds. For days 11 through 12, I fortified my base, seeing as Black Doom was searching for me. I would need a lot more protection. I set up some torches too, to keep the bad mobs away at night. With that complete, I decided to go check out the snow biome to see if I could find some Chaos Emeralds. I had to start somewhere. I hadn't traveled far when suddenly I ran into a group of strange-looking robots. Sonic's Henchman Creations! I grabbed my weapon and hit the robots. It only took a couple hits to disable them, but the weird thing was, there were rabbits inside of the robots that hopped away to freedom. Sonic, you really are just like Dr. Eggman, an evil animal snatcher. Eventually, I made it to the snowy biome. I was racing across the cold terrain when something even faster came whizzing past me. I stopped running, and a silver hedgehog came and stopped in front of me. Silver? Just as I said his name, the hedgehog hit me with a blast.
Stand down, enemy! Sonic told me you're the one trying to steal all the Chaos Emeralds for yourself!
Not for myself, I'm finding them to help save my world from destruction. Sonic is the evil one.
He said you were the evil one!
Well, seeing as he kidnapped my mom and blew up her house, and I didn't kidnap anyone and befriended a wisp, I'd say you were lied to. Wisps only befriend good beings, right?
Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. I have a wisp friend too, and so does Dr. Eggman.
Silver told me I should talk to Dr. Eggman, as he would be able to help me. He offered to take me to him. I agreed and invited Silver to join me back at the base. We could go find Dr. Eggman tomorrow. He agreed, and we raced back to the base. Before we could go to sleep though, I had to make Silver and his wisp their own room. I put something together quickly. I thought it turned out pretty good. Tomorrow, I would find Dr. Eggman. On days 13 to 15, Silver told me I could find Dr. Eggman in the mushroom fields.
Since you can find your way, I'll keep watch over the base in case Sonic comes around.
I thanked him for his help, then headed off towards the mushroom fields. When I got there, I noticed there were some gold rings along the path in the mushroom fields, which I happily collected as I ran. Just then, a giant bear robot jumped out of hiding and attacked me. He instantly drained a lot of my health. I was in bad shape. It looked like there was no way I could win. Just then, someone dropped down from the sky.
Looks like you can barely defend yourself.
Rouge the Bat took out a diamond sword and smacked the robot bear, finishing him off. Whoa, talk about timing. Why did you help me?
I'm a part of the Anti-Theft Coalition. I've been surveilling you. I think you really were telling the truth, so I wanted to help.
I was glad to hear she believed me, but I still wasn't sure I could trust her. She was a notorious thief after all.
By the way, there's a shortcut to Dr. Eggman's if you head that way. You're welcome. Now try not to die. I'll be around.
Rouge jumped into the sky and flew away. Well, thanks for the tip, I guess. I turned toward the shortcut and continued making my way toward Dr. Eggman's. On days 16 to 19, I took the shortcut through the mushroom fields. I was looking around for Dr. Eggman when Silver came running up at lightning speed.
Shadow, Sonic's men are on their way to your base. We'll need your help to defend it.
I nodded, and Silver and I ran back to the base as fast as we could. By the time we arrived, my base was on fire, with robots shooting at it. And there was someone else I knew from my world there, Tails. But he was controlling the robots. He was clearly Sonic's right-hand henchman. Silver ran at Tails before I could make a move. Tails easily knocked him away, and Silver ran off, wounded. Heal up, Silver, I'll handle this. I ran around and quickly assaulted the robots, breaking them to bits. With the robots all defeated, I turned to Tails. The Tails I know would never help an evil villain like Sonic. You hurt my friend! Ah! I ran right at him, but he jumped into the air and hovered above me. His tail gave him the ability to float.
Sonic sends his regards and destruction.
Tails flew above the house, blowing it up entirely and flying away and out of sight. I had no choice but to stay and rebuild everything. Dr. Eggman would have to wait. That's when I noticed some animals watching me from a hiding spot. Who are all these creatures?
They are animals that have fled from Sonic's attempts to turn them into robots. Word has spread about you, it appears.
They were all welcome to stay. Looked like I'd need to start from scratch anyways. The base was really destroyed. I would need a lot more space for my base. I had to go collect way more resources than I had. I'll be back in a flash. Once I had enough materials, I expanded the floor plan and made rooms for the different animals. I made sure I had a furnace too. I also set up a perimeter around the house to help keep the robots and other bad mobs out. It was looking good. I should finish getting more iron so I can upgrade the rest of my tools and armor. I ducked into a nearby cave and was lucky enough to find a big stash of iron. Oh yeah, now we're talking. I mined up as much as I could, then smelted it all down back at my base. Then I used it to make the rest of my armor, as well as all the other tools I would need. Let's see Tails try to beat me now. On days 20 to 22, I wanted more food around to eat, so I went looking for more options. I ran to a wheat field and gathered some wheat for bread and cakes. I noticed some motobugs riding towards me. These guys have no clue who they're messing with. I ran circles around them. I ran so fast that I started to fire in the wheat and the motobugs caught on fire. You guys are toast. I heard some sheep bleating and found a flock of them nearby. I herded them back to the base and made them a pen. I wanted to use their wool for my statue. I laid down grass and wheat in their pen so it would be a cozy spot for them. I hope you like it. I then started crafting materials so I could start working on my statue. I knew exactly what I wanted to make. But what do you think it is I'm making? A pretty blue mushroom? A statue of Black Doom picking his nose? Let me know your guess in the comments. On days 23 through 26, it was now time to go find my new mentor, so I traveled back toward the mushroom field. I soon reached the shortcut and followed it until I arrived at the mushroom fields. Finally, I found what had to be Dr. Eggman's base. At first, I thought it was just another tall mushroom. It was weird imagining being nice to him. I usually just wanted to knock him out.
Hello there, young hedgehog. Kindly turn back. This island is not safe for you, I'm afraid.
His voice came over a loudspeaker. But I'm actually here because I need your help. I want to defeat Sonic, free my mother, collect the Chaos Emeralds, and save mankind from my father, Black Doom.
That's a good one, son. Did one of my friends put you up to this? Those rascals.
No, I'm serious. I was told you could help me become strong and knowledgeable enough to defeat the evil of this world and mine. Are you gonna help me or not?
Oh, I'll tell you what. If you can run around this island by the time I count to 30, I'll take you on as my apprentice.
I smirked. You're on. Before he even started counting, I ran as fast as my legs could carry me. I was blitzing around the island like no tomorrow. By the time I got back to Dr. Eggman, he had only gotten halfway through counting.
Most impressive. Yes, I think you will be a very good opponent for Sonic. Come inside, come tell me your story.
From days 27 through 31, Dr. Eggman began training me to detect Chaos Emeralds and go up against Sonic's robots. We did training every day, running, punching, learning how to reprogram robots, meditating, and a lot more. While I stayed there, I told Eggman about my life story and about Maria. Do you have a granddaughter in this world?
Indeed I do. She went to college to become a scientist. No illnesses, except the one in her brain.
Huh?
Oh, nothing. Just muttering nonsense to myself. Maria is fit as a fiddle.
It was the best news I heard this entire time. In this reality, she was safe and alive. It was time for my final challenge.
In the Great Mountains, there is a Chaos Emerald. If you can find it and get through the many traps and defeat the foes that live there, your training will be complete.
I'll be back in a flash. Before I left, Dr. Eggman handed me a pair of new shoes.
I noticed your shoes were looking a bit run down. I took the liberty to make you a new pair and added some upgrades as well.
Whoa, these look pretty cool. Thanks. I put on the shoes and went on my hunt for the Chaos Emerald in the Great Mountains. These shoes are incredible. I was even faster. I arrived at the mountain shortly and followed the vibrations to see where the emerald was. Eventually, I came to a cave. Inside was a purple Chaos Emerald. There was also a big robot. The robot looked like Sonic.
Metal Sonic sensing threat. Termination sequence initiating.
Fast as a whip, I sped over to the robot and deprogrammed him. He was now a docile robot and let me take the emerald. I then programmed the Metal Sonic to only try and destroy Sonic. Let's give Sonic a taste of his own medicine. With the emerald in my possession, I sped back to Dr. Eggman. On days 32 to 35, I arrived at Eggman's base and presented the emerald to Dr. Eggman.
Astounding! You really are the real deal. Sonic is really gonna have to watch out for you. Here, take this. It's a fancy new weapon I created. It should come in handy.
Thank you, Dr. Eggman. I'm so glad you aren't an evil maniac like in my world. Anyhow, I hope to see you around. I still might need your help. I said goodbye and zoomed away back toward the base. I couldn't wait to tell everyone I had collected another emerald. Before I could get home though, I saw something terrifying chasing a rabbit in the field. It was Sonic! Oh no, he's trying to get more animals for his robots. I've got to stop him. I snuck in closer and took aim with the new weapon Dr. Eggman had given me. Let's see how he likes this. I fired it off, hitting Sonic. What I failed to remember though is now he would be attacking me.
You again? Get over here!
I took out my sword and started swinging, but Sonic was way too strong. I had to get out of there, but how? Sonic was too fast for me to just run away.
What's this? Do I sense Chaos Emeralds on you?
Uh-oh, I had to do something, and quick! Using my new shoes, I started running around Sonic, encircling him in flames. While he was distracted, I was able to make my escape.
I'll find you!
I was mad at myself for failing. Sonic was just going to keep capturing animals. Clearly, I wasn't fully ready to go toe-to-toe with him. I noticed some gold rings and decided to go collect them, even though it was getting dark. As I was collecting them, I was suddenly surrounded by a wither. It hovered above me and shot its skulls. I wasn't able to dodge them all and got hit by a skull. My health bar, it's gone black. Was I dying? What was this? I wasn't going to bother with this creep. I just got out of there. I ran fast. After all that training, here I was running from this mob and hiding from Sonic. Maybe I was just a big failure after all. On days 36 to 39, I arrived back at the base. I greeted everyone, and although I was feeling deflated for my lack of success, I still had gotten a Chaos Emerald and programmed that Metal Sonic. I had some wins. I was telling everyone about my adventure when I heard something outside. I went to take a look. Tails and the robots were back. Come on, I just got back. Don't you guys have a life? I hurried and ran around, quickly taking out each robot. With my training from Dr. Eggman, I knew just where to hit them to take them down fast.
What? What are you doing?
Tails was so shocked, I ran up to him before he could react. We've got you now, Tails. We are throwing you in jail for rehabilitation. Silver then quickly built a small jail cell, and I threw Tails into it. We'll deal with you later. I turned to Silver and told him we might be able to use Tails as leverage to get my mom back. Silver agreed. He also had another idea.
I was just about to go into the cave before Tails showed up. I need some diamonds for the enchantment table I'm making. I thought we could get blast protection on our armor. Would you mind finding me some?
No problem. I made my way into the cave and dug deep under the ground. At long last, I came across a stash of diamonds. Yes, just what I was looking for. I started breaking all the diamonds. As I broke the last block of diamond ore, I saw there was a chest buried behind it. Whoa, what is this for? I opened the chest and saw it contained a map. I wasn't sure what it led to, but I pocketed it for later examination. I soon arrived back at the base and handed the diamonds to Silver. He went off to the crafting table, then came back and gave me the finished enchanting table. He also gave me a bunch of bookshelves. I then got to work putting together an enchanting area. Since we had bookshelves, our enchanting table was going to be all powered up. Once it was finished, I was feeling pretty good about it. I then put our armor on the table and got it all enchanted up with blast protection. Sonic is gonna have a tough time blowing us up now. On days 40 to 43, I inspected the map and saw that it led to another treasure chest. It was worth looking into. I took off, leaving Silver behind to keep an eye on Tails. As I followed the map, I nearly ran off the side of a cliff. Woo, I gotta watch where I'm going. But how am I supposed to get across this? That's when I noticed there was a plane nearby. Let's see if this goose can fly. I started it up and drove off the cliff. Luckily for me, it flew. Whoa, I'm gonna be motion sick after this. I checked the map and saw I was getting close, so I brought it down for landing. I was able to land without crashing into anything. No villages flattened or trees taken out. That was a big win. I got out of the plane and heard some strange noises. A pack of wolves were howling and coming at me. They must have seen me flying overhead.
It's another hedgehog. Get him! Hedgehogs are nothing but trouble.
Sheesh, these wolves sure were judgy, but they were right about me. I was going to give them trouble. Lots of trouble. There were more of them than me, but I was trickier than they knew. I took out my weapon from Dr. Eggman and managed to knock them out. I took out the map and saw I was right next to the X. I started digging and soon found the chest. I hope this was worth the trouble. I opened it and found a diamond axe, some massive knuckle gloves, and a couple enchanted golden apples. Oh yeah, it was worth it. I hopped back into the plane and took off for home. On days 44 to 49, my plane ran out of fuel, but luckily I landed right by my statue. I should probably expand this thing. I checked the chest I kept near the statue, and sure enough, I saw that Silver had filled it with the blue blocks I needed. Man, Silver's the best. I got right to it, putting together the next part of the statue. As I built, I couldn't help but think about home, even if my home was not much of a home. As I was admiring the work I had done so far, Silver came running over to me.
Hurry, there's a gang of zombies attacking the base. I'm worried they'll break Tails out.
We got back to the base in time to see that a gang of zombies were attacking the place. They were even beating down the prison that Tails was in. He was going to escape if they kept at it. We split up and took out the mobs. Nice job, Silver. I think it's high time we really made this base more secure. It's only a matter of time before Evil Sonic or his cronies come looking for Tails. What could I build to keep Evil Sonic out? Well, I'm not sure I can keep Evil Sonic out, but I can sure mess with some of his robots. I built a taller fence around the base as a little surprise for any enemies. Those robots will have trouble getting in now. On days 50 to 53, Silver went off to go mining, and I went to feed the sheep. Just as I had finished taking care of the sheep, Rouge came swooping in.
You need to keep a better eye on your things. Your friend Silver has been kidnapped.
What? I've got to rescue him! How could Sonic do this?
I'm not so sure it was Sonic. I didn't recognize the baddies. All I know is there were too many of them for little old me.
I've got to go after them, but I don't know if I'm strong enough yet. I have to get more Chaos Emeralds, and I can't leave Tails unguarded.
I'll keep an eye on the little pipsqueak. And as for your emerald, I'm one of the Chaos Emerald's protectors, so I know where you can find one.
Yeah, that'd be great. Where is it?
I don't just give it out to anyone. But I'll tell you what, if you can get past the security measure, you can borrow it for your little Save the World quest thingy. Just be sure to bring it back when you're done.
She told me where to find the emerald. I sped to the building she described and couldn't believe what I found inside. There was a maze of laser beams, and in the center of it all laid a green emerald. In my world, Rouge and I had a lot of experience busting into places like this. I was able to glide through the lasers. Finally, I was at the center, and I almost picked up the emerald. Wait a minute. This isn't a real emerald. I'd feel it. This is a fake. The real emerald was nearby, though. I could sense it. Just then, I noticed a big snake slithering around the room. I readied my weapon, but it didn't attack. It just stared at me. Its eyes were mesmerizing. They put me into a trance. When I had come to, I awoke to find myself holding the real green emerald. Well, that was weird, but cool. Works for me. I hurried back to the base, and Rouge was waiting for me. I explained that the snake had given me the emerald somehow.
Then I was right. Your intentions are pure. That snake peers into your soul, and if you are worthy, he imparts the emerald to you. Congrats. I guess you're not so dumb after all.
Was that ever in question?
Kinda.
On days 54 to 57, I kept searching for more emeralds and signs of silver, since Rouge was keeping an eye on the base. How many more Chaos Emeralds do I even need? Got hard back on what Maria had said. You remember? Was it 5 or 7? So far I had red, pink, and green. Oh, I remember. She said 7. 4 more to go.
Do you always talk to yourself like this? You have seen a psychotic robot that looks like me running around here, have you?
Evil Sonic!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Evil? Wow, you can't go around labeling people like that. Should I call you Vain Shadow? Yeah, I've heard all about you and how you think you're the hottest thing in town. The name is just Sonic, not Evil Sonic.
Not where I come from. The real Sonic is good and defends those in need of help.
I help others. I help them right off a cliff. I'm the one and only Sonic. No one is as fast as me, or as strong, or as genius-er as me, including you. Not to mention, I'm the best at finding the Chaos Emerald hiding nearby. Ignore that. I'm here to talk to Tails. Wait, where is Tails? I haven't heard from him in days. That rat.
He had no clue where Tails was. I couldn't reveal that I had him yet. I equipped my knuckles. I needed to distract him from the emerald so I could look for it. You took silver, didn't you?
I steal all sorts of materials. Gold, silver, iron, I take it all.
You know what I mean.
Psh, even if I did, who'd I kidnap is none of your business.
It is my business when you take my mom and destroy my friends. I took my shot. I bursted over to him and swung my powerful gloves. I nearly got him.
Ooh, feisty much? Don't worry, you'll be in prison soon enough. Now what was I doing? Oh yeah, finding Tails. Anyway, eat dust, Uggo.
Sonic was gone in a blur. I've gotta hurry and get to the emeralds. I'm sure he'll remember why he was here soon enough. I focused my attention and could feel a small pull. I followed the feeling and soon arrived at the base of a waterfall. I kept looking around, then decided to take a chance. I walked right through the waterfall. Behind it, in a little cove, was the blue emerald, just sitting there, ready for the taking. No traps or guards. I now had the red, pink, green, and blue Chaos Emeralds. On days 58 through 62, I decided to go mining back by the base since I didn't have any other leads. I just need to get enough diamonds to finish the rest of my armor. I managed to find some more diamonds and even picked off a few pesky mobs along the way. I managed to acquire enough diamonds to make a full set. I took the diamonds back to the base and crafted a full set of diamond armor, excluding the boots. Once they were ready, I took everything to my enchanting table and got to work. Doing all of this enchanting made me think of Silver. I missed that guy. I hope he was okay. Next, I continued working on the statue, finishing the head and the hair. It turned out way better than I was expecting. I think you can all tell who it is now, right? I collected sand and gravel to turn into concrete powder, but while I was digging, I came across something unexpected. What's this? A book? The book had a recipe in it for an invincibility potion. It only lasts 20 seconds, but that could come in handy, big time. I collected the items that the recipe called for, and soon enough, I had the device put together. To activate it, I'd have to jump on it and smash it. I'll save this for when I'm in a bind. Then I saw Rouge flying towards me. She landed and told me she had found a map that might lead to Silver's captors, whoever they were. Nice going, Rouge. I think you would be an amazing addition to my team. You can stay at my base. What do you say?
I thought I was already part of your team. And don't think I'm giving you that map for free. I require compensation. I know you can pay me in gold rings.
Always so feisty, in both realities. I gave her the rings, and I took the map. I got to work building her a room at the base. Rouge was very opinionated on how it looked, and made sure to give me a lot of specifics before I had started. I was exhausted after all that, so I called it a night and went to sleep. Tomorrow I will find the map and see where it leads. On days 63 through 66, I had yet another visitor. It was Dr. Eggman himself. Dr. Eggman, I'm glad to see you. I was just about to follow this map to…
A map, you say? Well, I'm glad I got you in time. I've been thinking it over, and I want to be of more help. So I'm giving you this ring. When it's powered up, it turns all your enemies into gold rings.
Fantastic, thanks! This map might lead to Sonic, and in turn, lead to my captive friends. So thank you for the special weapon.
Oh, very good, lad. I'll keep an eye on the place while you're gone.
The map led me across a desert. Then suddenly, I encountered a mob of giant scorpions. I looked at my new ring weapon and saw it was charged up. I activated it. Poof! The scorpions that were trying to stab me turned to gold rings. I collected them. Dang, this ring is awesome. It really put an end to my suffering. Just then, I saw a beautiful purple cat coming up to me. She was clearly some kind of princess.
I sense you are searching for Chaos Emeralds, yes? By destroying these scorpions, you have saved my people from a dangerous enemy. You truly are a hero. I will bless you with help when you need it most. With the power of the Soul Emerald, I will repay your good deed.
Nice, I will remember this. Thank you, Your Highness. I went on my way. On days 67 through 70, I was running through the jungle when I finally reached the destination on the map. It was a mystical-looking ruin. I ran up to the giant staircase leading to the door of the temple ruins. Inside were a bunch of big, knuckled warriors. They saw that I had intruded and started coming at me. I brandished my own pair of knuckles, and they stopped advancing. They asked if I was part of the Knuckle Tribe. No, but I'm looking for my friend named Silver. He was kidnapped, and I have reason to believe he is here.
I'm over here, Shadow. There's no need to fight them. They aren't holding me hostage anymore. Thanks to Princess Tikal.
I'm sorry to worry you, strange visitor. My tribe did kidnap Silver for his powers, but I convinced my father and the tribe of their errors. Now Silver helps us as a friend, not as a prisoner.
Silver explained how Princess Tikal had learned how to control Chaos Emeralds so that their power would not be explosive. They were in a war against a mob of Endermen and had been looking for ways to defeat them. Silver, taking pity on them after releasing him, decided to stay and help them.
I sense many Chaos Emeralds on you. Please, come and learn how to control the chaos. With that much power, there could be much destruction. It's dangerous.
Silver and I were reunited, and we both trained with the Knuckle Tribe on how to control the long-lost art of controlling Chaos Emeralds.
My grandmother always taught me, chaos is power. Power is enriched by the heart. The controller is the one that unifies the chaos.
They even showed me how to use my knuckle gloves to maximize damage. I bowed to the princess. I thank you for teaching me the art of the Chaos Emeralds. I vow to use them for saving the world, nothing else.
Because I have seen into your heart, I will gift you one final thing. The turquoise Chaos Emerald is yours.
She revealed the emerald and handed it to me. All of a sudden, I started to grow and be stronger with more hearts. I'm as tall as Silver now. I'm full grown. Finally, back to my normal size before I arrived in this reality. Suddenly, the Knuckle Clan was on high alert. The Endermen were attacking. We ran out of the temple and fought the Endermen. With me and Silver using our powers and new training, we were able to help the tribe out and kill off most of them. The rest ran away. I hope that teaches those Endermen a lesson. Let us know if you ever need help again. We bowed and took our leave back to our base. On days 71 to 74, I found lots of confused creatures that had escaped being turned into robots by evil Sonic. I felt so bad for them. It was awful what he was doing. I invited them to come live at the base, and they readily agreed. You're very generous, Zozo, but I'm not sharing my room, just so you know. Don't worry, I'll add on to the base so everyone has a spot. Did I tell you Dr. Eggman is staying at the base now? And so is Rouge. Rouge? Are we sure we can trust her? She helped me get a Chaos Emerald. She talks tough, but she has a good heart. Okay, if you say so. We got home and introduced everyone to each other. Silver helped me make accommodations for the new arrivals. I think they're going to love it here. Once I was done, I noticed one of Princess Tikal's men coming up to the base. I met him outside the grounds. He said Princess Tikal had been taken by the Endermen to a nearby camp. Those Endermen are relentless. I will save you, Princess Tikal. On days 75 to 78, I headed to the cave where the Knuckle Guard led me. There at the entrance was Princess Tikal. I thought you were being held hostage.
I'm sorry to worry you, but I have something for you, and I had to be sure you were an ally first. The fact that you came to save me proves to me you care about others, and that you care for my people.
Oh, okay, but have you heard of the story of the boy who cried wolf? She hadn't, and it showed. Princess Tikal revealed what she had for me, and it was another Chaos Emerald. Where did you get this yellow Chaos Emerald?
Well, I had to steal it from my father. I wish he could be trusted with it, but he can't. He is power-hungry and reckless. He kept it locked away in the ruins, but I figured out how to get to it. He doesn't know it's gone yet.
She also gave me a rod that had been with the emerald. It contained a lightning bolt. I couldn't thank her enough. Just then, we heard crashing come through the cave. It was a Warden. He was massive and super strong. He fired his sonic boom at us, and we jumped out of the way. I used my speed to run circles around him, taking slices of him with my diamond axe. He was able to take a swing at me, and it knocked me over, as well as knocking my health down a ton. He was about to take another big hit at me. I thought quick and activated the lightning rod Tikal had given me. A great big bolt of lightning hit the Warden and destroyed him. Phew, thanks for the lightning rod. I should be getting back to my base. You're welcome to come visit anytime you like. She thanked me and said she needed to get back to the ruins to face her father. Thank you for helping me save the world, Princess Tikal. On days 79 through 84, I got back home and decided to make some base improvements. Call me a softie, but I felt bad for how small Tails' prison was. I went ahead and changed it up for him a little. Maybe he didn't deserve it, but it never hurts to be kind. He didn't say thanks when I finished, but I could tell he appreciated it. Then, I headed over to my crafting table and used the rest of my diamonds to make some armor for Rouge, Dr. Eggman, and Silver. I wanted my friends to be just as prepared as I was. Then, I had an idea. I decided to try and get Tails to talk. I went to the kitchen and made some dessert. Then I got Silver, and we decided to play good cop, bad cop to get Tails to talk. I offered Tails a cookie, but didn't give it to him just yet. Tell us about Evil Sonic. What's he got up his sleeve? He said he wouldn't tell us unless we let him go.
No, wait! Fine, I'll tell you. He is working with some guy called Black Doom to take over the world. They have this scientist that's really lost their mind and is making all sorts of brilliant and deadly weapons. Now give me the cookie.
I tossed him the cookie. Well, this situation was worse than I thought. Luckily, I only had one last Chaos Emerald to find. On days 85 to 89, I woke up to a commotion outside. Evil Sonic was outside, taunting the refugees on my base.
Oh, there you are! Now I know where you've been hiding!
How are you just figuring this out? Tails has been here multiple times to attack us on your orders.
Yeah, I'm too busy to bother with coordinates. That was Tails' job before he went AWOL.
I'm over here, sir.
What was that? Tails?
No, that was, Dr. Eggman.
Dr. Eggman? My arch nemesis?
No, it's me, Tails. I'm being held against my will.
Okay, fine. It is Tails, but you kidnapped my mom. Give her back, and then you can have Tails.
You bit off more than you can chew, dummy. Tails is coming with me. I don't do hostage negotiations. I take what I want.
Not on my watch. Dr. Eggman, Rouge, and Silver all came out and stood behind me. Sonic was bewildered.
Oh, I see how it is. You are definitely an enemy now. You will regret this.
No, I will never regret doing what is right. Just then, I started to level up again. My hearts regenerated and added more. My speed increased too. Sonic almost looked scared.
Yeah, well, I'll be seeing you soon, and I will get Tails back. But until then, enjoy a little gift.
Sonic released a bunch of droids into the base. We started fighting the droids that were shooting at us and flying all around. As we fought, I checked my ring. It was still not fully charged. Otherwise, it would have been super handy. In all the commotion, Sonic was able to escape. Coward! We worked together and used our weapons and cool powers to defeat the droids. That was pretty awesome, you guys. On days 90 to 93, I was feeling really awesome. We had totally taken down those enemies with very little damage. How hard could taking on evil Sonic really be? I wanted to finish my statue. I did the eyes and mouth, careful to not make it look too wonky. It was finally finished.
What's with the shrine? Who is she?
Before I say who it is, do you know who it is? Take a guess.
Who are you talking to? To me, she looks just like my granddaughter before she left home.
That's because it is her. In my reality, she was the one person who was kind and cared for me. She saved me so that I could save the world.
That's sweet, I guess. Actually, it's really depressing. Kinda wish I hadn't asked.
Dr. Eggman changed the subject.
Check out this upgrade I made. I call them Cyclone Wheel. They help you jump high in the air with the science of tornadoes beneath your feet.
I added them to my shoes, and I could jump super high with them, almost flying. This was pretty cool. I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but I was glad to have Eggman on my team. On days 94 through 96, I still had one more Chaos Emerald to find. I asked my team if they had any good ideas on where to find it.
My intel suggests there should be one on the highest peak of the snowy, abominable mountains. It won't be easy getting there.
Luckily, I was up for the challenge, the very cold challenge. I ran as fast as lightning towards the mountain. When I reached the base of the mountain, I used my soul busters to help me jump up the mountain. I followed the chaotic pull of the emerald. Eventually, I heard some screaming.
Help! These goats are attacking me!
It was a warmly dressed human running for his life, with a few mountain goats right behind him. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Everyone calm down!
Meh. He is a Snoopy human. He has a map that leads to our peaceful goat home. He plans to bring hunters back here.
It's just a hobby.
Listen, human, how are you liking all the goats hunting you right now?
That's completely different.
The human went to attack the goats, but in an instant I ran up to the man and hit him, knocking the map out of his hands. Scared, he ran away into the forest. There, that ought to fix the problem. The goats were so thankful, they gave me some ice cream. Very delicious. At the top, I found a white Chaos Emerald, camouflaged by the snow. I took the white emerald. Power surged through me. I had all 7 Chaos Emeralds. I felt like I was going to explode. I did my chaos breathing and was able to control the chaos. Then, I ran back down the mountain and back to my base. On day 98, I returned back to the base and showed my team all the emeralds I had collected. Now, I just needed to figure out how to use them and not have them consume me.
The fact that you have all these emeralds on you and you haven't exploded into 1,000,000 pieces means you are meant to be the keeper of these stones. You will figure it out.
The only person I knew who ever used them before in my world was Good Sonic, but I'm sure it would come easily. It was time to prepare for my journey, and I knew just the person to lead me to Sonic's base. But first, I needed to make more cookies. Once I had a whole stack, I went over to Tails to make him an offer. Take me to Sonic, and all these cookies will be yours. His hunger won, and he agreed to lead me to Sonic's lair. On day 99, we arrived outside of Sonic's lair. It was a super big building with a golden statue of evil Sonic outside. Okay, it's go time. I told Tails to stay put where he is. Then I started fighting the robots that were guarding the doors. But I had made a mistake. There were more robots here than I thought. During all the fighting, Tails managed to fly away. Well, I just needed him to get me here, and I'm here. Hopefully I won't regret that. At long last, I took out the robots, and the way was clear to go inside. As I stepped into the grand entrance though, the place was packed with even more robots than before. Oh no, how am I going to beat all of these guys? That's when I remembered to check my ring and saw it was fully charged. Get a taste of this! I activated the ring and turned all of the enemies into gold rings. Piece of cake! Now to find Sonic and end this.
Looking for me?
I turned toward the voice and saw Sonic looking at me, but he wasn't alone. Standing next to him was Tails, and to my horror, Black Doom. Then someone else stepped out from behind them. Maria? It was Maria from day one, but she looked different. She looked evil.
Looks like this is the end for you, Shadow old pal.
Not so fast! I turned and saw Silver, Rouge, and Dr. Eggman standing in the doorway.
Did you really think you didn't need our help?
Hello, Maria! Good to see you, dearie!
It's Dr. Maria, old man. And I've had enough of this meddling with our plans. This ends now.
Dr. Maria flipped a switch, and a cage dropped down from the ceiling, right over all my friends.
Oh, we really should have seen that coming! Now, give me the stones, and we can finish this.
My friends were trapped, and there was no way I was going to be able to take all of these guys on alone. I was doomed. I needed to use the stones, but how? It was now day 100, and Black Doom was in front of me. Dr. Maria was standing near my trapped friends, ready to inject them with a sleeping serum. All hope was lost. Suddenly, there was a bright light, and a portal opened behind me. Out stepped a bright blue figure. Sonic! Good Sonic!
I thought you could use some help kicking some evil rears. Whoa, I'm seeing double.
Welcome to the alternate reality. Don't be fooled. You're a real big meanie in this world. I have the Chaos Emeralds, but I don't know how to make them work.
Let's do this, together. Take your emeralds out, breathe, and let go.
But what if they explode the whole world? I have to control the chaos.
No, you need to welcome it.
I took them out and breathed. The emeralds floated around Sonic and I. Then in an instant, we turned gold. We were Super Sonic and Shadow. The enemies were in shock.
Let's do this.
Sonic and I surrounded Black Doom, punching him between us. He was no match and couldn't escape from our punches. While we were hitting him, Silver managed to break a hole in the cage and gave Dr. Maria a smack on the head. As he did so, there was a spark, and she turned back to normal Maria. Evil Sonic had planted a chip in her head to control her.
What happened? Where am I?
Back in the center of the room, Black Doom was at his wit's end. In a flash, our punches were too much, and he was destroyed. Evil Sonic came running over to us and tried to fight, but I knocked him out with a single punch. Tails took one look at us and ran for the door. Let him go. He's no threat to us now. I ran up the stairs and went through the door Sonic and Tails had been in front of. Inside were a bunch of cages filled with animals. Then I saw who I was looking for. Mom, I'm here to rescue you.
Oh, Zozo, I knew you would come.
I broke my mom out of her cage and we jumped for joy. Later on, we were all standing around back at the base and Sonic lit a portal back to our reality.
Well, are you coming?
I thought about it. There was nothing left for me in the old world. No, I think I'll stay here with my new family.
By the way, Maria, in case you didn't notice, Zozo made a huge sculpture of you, so don't be freaked out.
Rouge! Everyone laughed as we jumped for joy and celebrated. Everything was finally back to normal. On day 1, I spawned into the freezing cold Alps as Super Sonic! Whoa, look at me! I'm super fast and solid gold! This is one thing cooler than being Sonic, even if I only have 10 hearts. I was so distracted by my own cool shiny skin that I didn't even notice a massive obsidian golem stomping towards me through the snow.
Oh, who goes there?
You should have asked, who's Zo's there? Because I'm Zozo. It's nice to meet you.
This is no time to joke. Golems everywhere are under threat right now, and if I believe you might be involved with a threat against us, I'll need to take you in for questioning.
Sure, you can take me in for questioning, but you'll need to catch me first. I turned and ran off unbelievably fast, zipping across the Alps way faster than the obsidian golem could ever follow me. It felt like I was going to escape until I ran up into another obsidian golem standing right in front of me. What? How did you get here so fast?
I didn't. I'm another guy, you dingus. Now come with me before I smash you with my big golem fist.
Guess I can't argue with that. And with that, he led me away. On day 2, the huge obsidian golem led me back to a fortified base hidden deep in the Alps. I was led into a cell, and the obsidian golem locked the door behind me.
You better stay well behaved, Zozo. We don't want to hurt you if we don't have to. But if you make trouble for us, I'll make even bigger trouble for you.
Okay, I get it. You're a big scary golem. I won't mess with you.
Thank you for getting it. I didn't want to labor the point.
Golem left and left me in an obviously not ideal situation. Darn, I really need to figure out how to get out of here and figure out what's going on in the overworld. Clearly something isn't right.
You're not the only one who feels that way, mate.
I turned and saw a drop bear sitting in the cell with me. Somehow, I hadn't even noticed him in here.
G'day, I'm Dave. Dave the Drop Bear. I was on vacation from down under, sightseeing in the Alps. And these big nasty golem blokes wrapped me on the knuckles and dragged me in here.
You too, huh? I'm Zozo. It's nice to meet you, Dave. We need to figure out a way out of this place.
Well, I've tried myself, mate. If it was easy, I would have done it already.
Okay, let me think. I don't have any tools, but I do have super speed. Maybe if I run at the wall with enough speed, I can break a hole into it.
Couldn't hurt to try, mate. Well, it might hurt you to go into the wall really fast, but still, I encourage trying whenever I can.
I took an epic run up, well, as epic as the size of the cell allowed, and ran straight into the wall. It broke enough of the blocks to let me and Dave escape, even if the impact did take off a few hearts.
You're a legend, Zozo. I hope we meet again someday.
Same here, Dave. Be safe out there. So we both made our ways out into the world, hoping that those nasty obsidian golems wouldn't find us. On day 3, I continued traveling through the Alps, trying to find a safe way out, but my body was still aching from running into that wall at super speed. Ow, ow, ow. It worked, but in hindsight, I'm not sure why I thought that would be a good idea. But I wasn't just hurting, I was also hungry, and I needed to find some food soon, or I wouldn't even have the strength to run. What I'd do for a chili dog right now. But I didn't find a chili dog. Instead, I found some apples laying around and ate as many as I could to replenish my hunger bar. That's more like it. At least I won't starve and freeze up on this mountain. My relief was short-lived because a huge figure came rolling out of the snow towards me, even bigger and stronger than the obsidian golems. Oh no, I'm totally gonna be destroyed. I'm having terrible luck this week.
Be not afraid, stranger. I am Humbaba, the wise, brave, and honest. And seeing as you're wandering through the snow, alone and afraid, I assume you've had an unfortunate run-in with the golems.
How'd you guess?
Believe me, I have good reason to know. Come with me, stranger. I'll keep you safe, and you can help me with a little something I've been working on.
And so I followed Humbaba through the snow, having no idea what would happen next. From day 4 to day 5, we finally left the Alps and entered the ancient forest, which was actually a lot more comfortable than all the freezing cold of the Alps. We arrived at Humbaba's base a little while after, where he gave me my first set of stone tools and a stone sword. Why are you giving me these?
Because you need to get stronger, stranger. If you want to help me save the world, you need your own base, and you need to get better at fighting.
But what are you trying to save the world from, Humbaba? Oh, and by the way, my name's Zozo.
Once, they called me the king of the beasts. That means I ruled all the animals, and I did so kindly and fairly. Then came the cruel and diabolical golems, who toppled me from my throne and tried to capture and enslave all the animals I once represented.
That's terrible!
It certainly is. So go, Zozo, get stronger, and then return to me. We will save this world together.
I left Humbaba's base and went further into the ancient forest. Eventually, I found a decent clearing and started cutting down trees and mining stone to start building myself a cool little base. This is coming along well. It'll be nice to be in a room that I haven't been locked in by somebody else. But saying that out loud, ironically, attracted the attention of one of the obsidian golems who'd locked me up.
There you are! You owe us some emeralds after damaging a wall!
I don't owe you guys anything! Using my super speed, I ran in and attacked him with my stone sword, too fast for him to even fight back. Moments later, he was defeated, and I'd gained enough XP to level up. I got bigger, tougher, faster, and gained an awesome jump boost.
I now also had 30 hearts instead of just 10. I'm really living up to my supersonic name. From day 6 to day 8, I was running back and forth through the ancient forest to test my super jumps and super speed. But along the way, I ran into an old friend, Dave the Drop Bear. Aw, hey Dave, fancy seeing you here.
Zozo, good to see you, mate. You're looking bigger and stronger since we last met each other. Have you been working out?
I have. Thank you for noticing. What are you doing in the ancient forest, Dave?
Oh, I've been laying low, mate. Keeping it old school. Those obsidian golems came looking for me.
You too? Gosh, it seems like Humbaba was right. These obsidian golems are never going to give up unless we stop them.
Humbaba? What's that?
Oh, just a friend of mine. One I should probably go and see. I returned to Humbaba, eager to take on my first mission and stop these awful golems from taking over our lives.
I'm glad you've come to realize how important our mission is, Zozo. But it's much bigger than just obsidian golems. It's all of them. Your first mission will be a trial by fire. Literally. Go to the savannah and defeat the magma golem. If you are strong enough, victory will be yours.
From day 9 to day 10, I followed Humbaba's instructions and went out to the savannah. Boy, it's so hot out here. It almost makes me regret complaining about how cold the Alps were. But that heat wasn't just the climate. It was the heat coming off of a big, hot magma golem I was creeping up on. I approached carefully, ready to use a burst of speed to take him out with a surprise attack. But instead, he turned and caught me.
Are you trying to sneak up on me, you little creep? That's not a good idea. You won't like what I do to people who sneak up on me.
Don't worry, nobody is ever gonna do it again after this, cause I'm gonna defeat you. Humbaba told me exactly where to find you, and here you are.
You're one of Humbaba's goons? That makes all too much sense.
I'm not a goon, I'm a hero. Let's go. I ran in at super speed and used my jump boost to leap over him. I pulled out my stone sword and attacked him as fast as I could. He turned and landed a few powerful hits on me, but in the end, I was victorious. Wow, I lost a lot of hearts in that battle. This isn't good.
That's where I come in.
I turned and saw that Dave the Drop Bear was walking towards me again. Dave, how did you find me?
Pure luck. I had some commotion and ran right over. Yeah, I have a healing potion, mate.
I drank the potion that Dave gave me and felt my hearts replenishing.
Why are you out here anyway, Zozo?
My friend Humbaba sent me out here to fight the magma golem. It was harder than I thought.
He sends you on dangerous missions. That's a strange thing for a friend to do.
We've got an important goal, Dave. You wouldn't understand. Thanks for the health potion, though. I'll pay you back for this someday. And with that, I ran off at the speed of sound to tell Humbaba about my victory. From day 11 to day 12, I rushed back to the ancient forest to tell Humbaba the good news.
Welcome back, Zozo. Were you successful in your mission?
I sure was. It was pretty tough, but I managed to defeat the magma golem just like you asked.
Excellent. But our work is far from over. If we are going to truly win the battle against the golems, you must become stronger. Get yourself some iron armor and weapons, then return to the savannah to seek out the remaining golems there. We must eradicate them from the land.
Oh, that sounds kind of intense.
Don't you trust me?
Well, I have no reason not to, so I guess I'll get going. I journeyed to a nearby cave and started looking for some iron ore. After a little while, I managed to find some. Time to make some new gear with this. I used the iron to fashion some iron armor, an iron sword, and an iron pickaxe. As I was getting ready to leave the cave, the obsidian golem appeared. He looked pretty mad.
There you are, Humbaba's evil henchman.
Why do you guys keep saying stuff like that? I'm a good guy.
Good guys don't run around attacking innocent golems.
He attacked me, but I fought back, and before too long, I had managed to defeat him. From day 13 to day 15, I took my new gear and traveled back to the savannah. There has to be some golems around here somewhere. As I was exploring, I spotted a raccoon cowering behind a tree. Excuse me, have you seen any golems making trouble around here?
Eek! Please don't hurt me!
What? I'm not gonna hurt you.
And you were here earlier, fighting the magma golem.
So that I can help free the animals, like you. I'm trying to help.
Help? I didn't need your help. That magma golem was my friend. He just threw me a birthday party last week. You're ruining everything. You and your horrible boss.
I decided to leave the raccoon alone before I made matters worse. Something feels wrong. I'd better go back to Humbaba and talk to him about this. From day 16 to day 19, I returned to the ancient forest to ask Humbaba what the heck was going on. I'm probably just misunderstanding, or maybe that raccoon had me mixed up with someone else. When I got there, Humbaba looked really busy, but I decided to talk to him anyway. Hey, so when I got to the savannah, there was this raccoon and…
I don't have time for this. I have important matters to attend to. Come back when you've done what I asked.
Jeez, he's in a bad mood. I decided to go back to my base so I could take a moment to think. When I got there, Dave the drop bear was waiting for me.
Zozo, it's a mess, mate. That Humbaba friend of yours is attacking a bunch of animals and golems in the savannah. It's chaos.
What? That doesn't sound like him. I'll go check it out. I rushed there as fast as I could, and sure enough, Humbaba was stomping around and attacking everyone in sight. What are you doing?
Don't tell me you've lost your nerve now. I'm just doing what needs to be done, reclaiming my rightful place on the throne as king of the beasts.
Wait a second, you're not trying to help anyone. You just want to be in charge again.
Took you long enough to figure it out.
You tricked me! I couldn't stand there and watch anymore. I ran at him with my sword drawn and attacked, but he was too strong. He knocked me down with only one hit. I tried to get back up, but he hit me again, and everything went dark. From day 20 to day 22, I finally woke up, still in the savannah. I couldn't see Humbaba anywhere. Must have knocked me out and finished what he started. This place is a disaster. I can't believe he misled me like that. I feel like such a fool. I'm so sorry, everyone. If you need a place to stay while your homes are rebuilt, you can go to my base. After I gave them the invitation, I traveled back to my base to make some much-needed improvements. We don't have enough room for guests right now. I'll need to expand. I built an additional room, and I was going to add more, but only Dave the drop bear showed up.
Sure, it's okay for me to stay here.
Definitely. Welcome home.
Thanks, mate. For what it's worth, I don't think you're bad. You were doing what you thought was right. Now you know better. It's never too late to turn things around and fight for the good guys.
From day 23 to day 26, I decided to go back to where I started before Humbaba filled my head with lies, the Alps. When I got there, I saw a vicious hellhound chasing after a poor, defenseless roadrunner. Now's my chance to do something good and actually start helping people who need it. Hold on, I'll save you.
Meep, hurry! I can't run this fast forever!
I sprang into action, running as fast as I could, and jumped in front of the hellhound, blocking its path. With my iron sword, I managed to hold back the beast and rescue the roadrunner from its jaws. But it wasn't defeated yet. The roadrunner ran off down the road, leaving me to finish my battle with the hellhound. I was worried I wouldn't make it, but I finally managed to defeat it. As I stood there, catching my breath, I felt my hearts increase to 50, and I gained the ability to climb walls. From day 27 to day 31, I found some lost sheep wandering around the Alps. They didn't have anywhere to stay, so I invited them to come live at my base. I quickly traveled back to my base to build a pen for the sheep. There, perfect for some sheep to sleep. Haha, sleep sheep, that rhymes.
Sure does, mate. Hey, if you're done improvising poetry about farm animals, wanna come see what I built?
Sure. I followed Dave into the base, and he showed me a new room that wasn't there before.
Yeah, it's a storage room. We can keep all sorts of things in here. Armor, swords, boomerangs, you name it.
That's great. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, back in the ancient forest, Humbaba had found a new henchman, someone terrifying and powerful, a slave and warder, ready to follow his every order.
Zozo's foolishness might have delayed my plans a little, but with your help, we can still erase all golems from this land and make me king again. Yes, my liege. All shall bow before you or perish.
From day 32 to day 35, I returned to the Alps and made my way to the golem base where I was held prisoner before. I had to make things right with the golems and show them that I was on their side. The obsidian golem there wasn't very happy to see me.
You dare show your face here again? After all you've done, I should have you locked up and throw away the key.
Wait, don't! He ran at me and attacked me, but I dodged. I'm not here to fight. I want to say I'm sorry. I was tricked by Humbaba. I thought you guys were the danger, but I know better now. I want to help.
If you truly wish to help, then there is someone you should meet. Follow me.
He led me to a wise ancient gold golem.
Hello, my son.
I'm your son. There's not much family resemblance.
It's just an expression. But I should warn you, if you wish to aid us in the battle against Humbaba, you are in for a difficult fight. Once, he was the king of the beasts, but he took that title by force, by terrifying and imprisoning all animals that opposed him. The golems freed the animals, and he swore revenge. Now it seems the time has come for him to try and take his power back.
We can't let him!
I agree. Fight valiantly, young Zozo. I will help you however I can.
From day 36 to day 39, I traveled back to my base, thinking about the gold golem's words. This is going to be a difficult fight, so I need some better equipment. I'd better find some more iron. I went back down into the cave and mined until I had enough iron to finish my set of armor. While I was looking, I found a few diamonds too. I'll bring these back to the base to use later.
Crikey, look what I found! Zozo, look at this!
I followed the sound of Dave's voice and saw what he was talking about, a Kyther. Awesome, let's bring it back with us. When Dave and I got back to the base, there was a prismarine golem waiting for us.
Zozo, the gold golem sent me to find you. You need to come meet with him immediately. It's a matter of life and death.
Then I guess I gotta go fast. From day 40 to day 43, I returned to the Alps to find what the gold golem so urgently wanted to tell me.
Zozo, thank you for getting here so quickly. I have important information for you about Humbaba's grand scheme. You see...
But before he could finish his sentence, we were both interrupted by a huge crashing sound. I turned and saw a slave and warder attacking the golem base.
I am here for the head of the traitorous Zozo.
You can't have my head. I need it for thinking of stuff.
Face me and fight, little coward.
I'm not a coward, but I know an unfair fight when I see one. No thanks. I ran away from the slave and warder, and in the process, ran into the gold golem again.
Run, Zozo, protect yourself. We can handle ourselves here. The golems are used to doing battle with Humbaba's many goons.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Then I won't. You know what to do.
I ran out of there as fast as I could, as the slave and warder continued trying to tear the base apart. From day 44 to day 49, I was laying low at my base, still shaken from seeing the relentless attack of the slave and warder. It's lucky that I'm the fastest thing alive, or I don't know how I would have escaped that monster. I need to be more careful. Soon after that, I got a personal visit from the gold golem, and for once, he had some good news for me.
Zozo, my son, lend me your ear.
Gold golem, I'm so glad you're okay, and that your obsidian golems managed to repel the attack.
We did, at a great cost. My men are rebuilding the base as best they can, but more importantly, I have been studying the sacred texts for answers to our Humbaba problem, and I think I may have what we need.
Oh, tell me, gold golem, please!
A battle axe buried somewhere deep and dark, once wielded by a great hero who used it to slay some ancient evil. The legends say that the battle axe still has some of his power.
That sounds like exactly what we need to defeat Humbaba. Where can we find it?
This is where my knowledge ends. You must journey to the savannah and find the glowstone golem elder. Perhaps he will have the answers that you seek.
Thankfully, with my speed, it won't take me long to get there. From day 50 to day 53, I used my super speed to reach the savannah in record time. I waited until nightfall, knowing it would be a lot easier to find the glowstone golem in the dark. When the darkness crept in, I started my search, running end to end in the savannah until I saw a distinctive glow in the middle of a clearing. I approached and saw him standing there, as though he knew I was coming. The glowstone golem! Glowstone golem, my name is Zozo, and I humbly come to you, searching for help in defeating a great evil.
Speak!
My friend, the gold golem, told me of an ancient battle axe that might be able to defeat the evil Humbaba. Do you know where I could find such an axe?
It would not matter if you could find it.
Wait, what do you mean?
You are not strong enough to wield that ancient battle axe. When you are ready to use it, only then will you find it.
What?
I have spoken. Away with you, Zozo. Do not seek the battle axe. The battle axe will seek you, if you deserve it.
And like that, the conversation was over. I went back to my base, moving much more slowly this time, feeling completely defeated. From day 54 to day 57, I returned to the Alps, planning on telling the gold golem the bad news, that his glowstone elder hadn't told me anything useful. But that's when something even worse happened. The terrifying Slaven warder hopped out right in front of me.
There you are, you sad little glittery worm! You dared defy the great King Humbaba, and you keep running away from the justice you so richly deserve!
Why do you work for him, warder? He's no king, he's just a bully who thinks he's the best. Don't you know he thinks you're just as below him as everyone else?
Of course I'm below him! He is the king, and we are all his loyal subjects. We exist to serve him, and those who refuse to serve him shouldn't exist, including you, Zozo.
The Slaven warder immediately lunged at me, and one attack from him took off a scary number of hearts. There was no way I could fight him off like this. I just needed to run away as fast as I could, which thankfully, as supersonic, was really, really fast. Meanwhile, at Humbaba's base, his evil plot was marching ever further.
So, Zozo is seeking out the battle axe. Excellent. He'll do all the hard work, and then I'll take it from him. I'm so good at this.
From day 58 to day 62, I came back to my base, still feeling jittery from my encounter with the Slaven warder. I need to get stronger weapons and armor. If I don't, I could be toast if I get ambushed by Humbaba or his Slaven warder. But at least, when I arrived at my base again, Dave the Drop Bear had some cool news for me.
Zozo, me old cobber, I've been working on a bit of a construction project while you were gone. For starters, I made a furnace for all your smelting needs, but I've also been working on putting together a bunker in case everything goes sideways.
This is awesome, Dave. Is there anything I can do to help?
Well, I've been running low on stone. You could go and get me some. That'd be a huge help, mate.
Happy to have something to take my mind off of the threats at hand, I went to a nearby cave to mine Dave some extra stone. But while I was down there, I also got lucky and found some diamonds. Finally, my luck is starting to change. I went back to the base and gave Dave a bunch of stone blocks, and then visited the furnace to forge some new items with my diamonds. A diamond helmet, a diamond sword, and a diamond pickaxe. Let's see that Slaven warder try to mess with me now. From day 63 to day 66, I met with the gold golem at my base again. He'd managed to make a good break in the case.
After studying further texts, I found a potential answer to our troubles, Zozo. Interpreting all the clues, I believe that the battle axe may be in the Brimstone Caverns, where it is guarded by a terrible beast.
That's at least 50% good news. Do you have any idea how I can enter the Brimstone Caverns?
I've heard tell of a secret door somewhere in the ancient forest that leads directly to the Brimstone Caverns without a nether portal. Let us go and find it. There is no time to waste.
Gold Golem and I ran out into the ancient forest, searching for the legendary door, and eventually we did find it. There was only one problem. It was locked. Is there any way you can open it with magic, Gold Golem?
I'm afraid only a special key can open a door like that, Zozo.
Oh, figures. From day 67 to day 70, with the key still out of reach, I decided I'd build some extra strength by helping the Gold Golem with a favor up in the Alps.
A powerful Tartarus has been rampaging through the Alps. I don't believe it works with Humbaba or any of his men, but his threat needs to be neutralized one way or another. He's too distracting to our mission.
I'll see what I can do. It'll be nice to feel like I've done something useful for once. Using my supersonic super speed, I blasted my way through the Alps until I came upon the Tartarus. It was as big and scary as I expected, but I pulled out my diamond sword and jumped into the fight. It wasn't easy, but eventually I fought the monster to a standstill, but I didn't destroy it. Instead, I spoke to it.
You are a valiant fighter, stranger. I admire your strength and grit. What would you ask of me?
Just stop causing trouble around here, okay? The golems have enough to deal with right now.
I respect your wishes. Good luck on your quest.
True to his word, the Tartarus left the Alps. From day 71 to day 74, I returned to my base, only to see that someone had completely wrecked it. Confused and afraid, I ran in to see what had happened. Thankfully, Dave the Drop Bear was okay, and he told me the whole story.
It was terrible, Zozo. That nasty blighter, the Slaven warder, showed up and attacked the base.
He was looking for you, and he was turning everything upside down trying to find you. And when he didn't, he just stole that Carther I found for you a few weeks ago.
I'm sick of that heinous henchman. No more being cowardly. I'm going to hunt that creep down and fight him on his own territory.
That sounds like a plan, Zozo. That nasty slave in water has had it too good for too long.
As I prepared the plan for my counterattack, Humbaba, back at his base, was refining a plan of his own.
We have the door. My minion has the key. When Zozo takes it and clears the path for me, the battle axe will be mine.
From day 75 to day 78, Dave the Drop Bear had fully repaired the base and added a perimeter wall in case someone came to attack the base again. We still left a door in the front for visitors, such as the Gold Golem, who came over to give me a gift before I led my assault on the Slaven Warder.
I have a gift for you, Zozo. A firework crossbow. It's a powerful ranged weapon that may give you the advantage you need.
Wow, Gold Golem, this is awesome! Thank you!
We have a lot riding on this quest, Zozo. I have reason to believe that the Slaven Warder may hold the key to opening the door in the ancient forest. If you can defeat the Warder, you can defeat Humbaba once and for all.
Finally understanding the true importance of my mission, I took the firework crossbow and left to battle the Slaven Warder outside of Humbaba's base. From day 79 to day 84, I arrived outside Humbaba's base, ready to face the Slaven Warder. He was waiting outside, like he knew that I was coming.
I will destroy you now, Zozo, to show my loyalty to my beloved king!
That might be the saddest thing I've ever heard, dude. I fired my firework crossbow at him, stunning him before running in with my super speed and delivering a volley of attacks with my diamond sword. I never gave up, just striking him again and again. Once my assault was over, the Slaven Warder was destroyed, and I had enough XP to level up again. I reached full power and full speed with 100 hearts and a whirlwind attack. The Slaven Warder also dropped both my Kythar and a key to the door in the ancient forest. Huh, that's convenient. Still, I can't look a Slaven Warder in the mouth. Time to go and get that battle axe. And so, I set off back towards my base, having no idea that I was playing right into Humbaba's hands. From day 85 to day 89, before heading to the door in the ancient forest, I arrived at my base to give Dave the Drop Bear the good news.
So you found the key after all. Good on you, mate. Since we're sharing good news, I'm pretty much done with the defense bunker. If you want, you can add the final block.
I'd be honored to, Dave. I added the last block, finishing the bunker for good, and then I ran over to the ancient forest door. It's now or never. Time to get this battle axe. I unlocked the door and went inside. The brimstone caverns were dark and frightening, and I remembered what the Gold Golem had told me about the frightening monster guarding the battle axe. And then I ran into the monster, a huge, scary Cerberus. Good doggy? I unleashed a whirlwind attack on the Cerberus and then pulled out my Kyther. The Cerberus was one of the toughest and most vicious enemies I'd faced, but in the end, I defeated it. The battle axe was mine. From day 90 to day 94, I was ready to leave the Brimstone Caverns with my battle axe and defeat Humbaba and his evil minions once and for all. I expected I'd need to go all the way to his base to fight him, but no. He was waiting for me in the Brimstone Caverns, staring into my soul.
Thank you for collecting my battle axe for me, Zozo. I would have done it myself, but being the king of beasts is busy work.
Me and the other animals will never accept you as our king. You have no authority.
Oh, believe me, Zozo. With that axe, I have all the authority I need. No golem nor beast will be able to stand against me. Because I'm feeling generous, I'll give you one more chance. Since the Slaven Warder is gone, I need a new second in command. It could be you.
It'll never be me. Ever!
Fine, then perish.
And just like that, the ground exploded beneath me, and I fell down into a chasm in the floor. I was knocked out, and when I woke up, I realized that the battle axe was gone from my inventory. Oh no, Humbaba must have taken it! From day 95 to day 97, I used my wall climbing ability to get out of the pit that Humbaba had trapped me in. With the battle axe, I had no way of knowing what terrible things he could be getting up to now. I left the Brimstone Caverns at light speed, needing to get to the Alps and warn the gold golem that Humbaba was probably going to come straight for them. And I was right, but I was too late to do anything about it. The golem's fortress was in ruins, and the only survivor, the gold golem, was barely clinging on to life. I ran in and tried to help him, but it was too late.
Zozo, you're alive, so that monster lied. That's a small solace at least.
I'm so sorry that I wasn't here in time to save you, Gold Golem. You did so much for me, and I let you down.
Don't worry about me, Zozo. You need to go back to your base. That's where he'll be heading next. Go, quickly, before it's too late, my son.
The Gold Golem was right. As he passed on, I ran off in the direction of my base as quickly as I possibly could. On day 98, I returned to my base, only to find that more terrible things had unfolded. The whole place was in ruins, and Dave the Drop Bear was hiding behind a piece of mostly destroyed wall, trying to remain hidden. Oh no, even moving at the speed of sound, I still wasn't fast enough to stop Humbaba. When he heard my voice, Dave finally felt safe enough to emerge.
Crikey, Zozo, I thought you were a goner. I'm so happy you're okay, mate. I'm only alive because I hid inside the bunker we made.
I'm so sorry that I didn't get back in enough time to stop Humbaba from doing all of this. I don't even have the battle axe anymore. He took that too. We've got no hope of stopping him.
Don't talk like that, Zozo. You've gotten us this far. I just know you can take us the rest of the way. You're the fastest thing alive, aren't you? If that nasty creep stole the battle axe, who better than you to steal it back and end all of this?
You're right, Dave. I need to run towards this, not away from it. It's time for us to finally win. So, at the speed of sound, I set off to take back what was rightfully ours. On day 99, I blasted through the ancient forest towards Humbaba's base. Nothing would stop me from getting inside and stealing back that axe. You're gonna regret ever messing with this supersonic Humbaba. I arrived and did a super jump over the wall, clearing it effortlessly. When I landed, I saw Humbaba standing there, seeming surprised to see me.
Are you here to submit to me, Zozo?
Nope, I'm not here for you at all. I sped off, running away from Humbaba and traveling deeper into his base until I came upon a chest that looked important. I looked inside and found exactly what I was looking for, the battle axe. I could feel the power, the strength, and the pull of destiny. I was ready to take on the beast that had caused so many people so much pain and get rid of him and his evil for good. On day 100, full of power and fury, as well as my incredible speed, I returned to Humbaba, wielding the battle axe I'd taken back from him. The wannabe king of beasts was waiting for me.
Are you this eager to be destroyed, Zozo? You're traveling towards a dead end at the speed of sound. All the chances I've given you to give up and swear fealty to me, your true king.
The only thing you're the king of is being an arrogant windbag. I'm sick of hearing you brag and posture about how cool you are when all you do is destroy things. You're not a ruler, you're a monster.
If I'm a monster, Zozo, come and slay me if you think you are strong enough.
Careful what you wish for, your highness. The battle was on! Using my supersonic speed, I unleashed a whirlwind on Humbaba, throwing him off his rhythm. But I didn't stop there. I sped in and struck him with the battle axe, moving too fast for him to hit me or defend himself. I struck him again and again, knowing that soon it'd finally be over. And then it was. Humbaba had been destroyed, and I was the one who did it. Humbaba will never destroy or enslave anyone ever again. We're all free.
On day 1, I spawned into the flowering enchanted grove as Sonic the Hedgehog Dragon. Whoa, I'm a crime against nature. I gotta go fast and also be a dragon. I started zooming around the grove while also being a dragon. Only a baby dragon, mind you. Still, a baby Sonic dragon is better than Sonic that isn't a dragon or a dragon that isn't a Sonic. But my musings were interrupted when a giant praying mantis skittered towards me.
Home wrecker!
What? I don't even know you. And how could I wreck a home? I don't even have a wooden pickaxe yet.
I
I didn't mean it literally, you scaly hedgehog abomination. I had a happy life with my loving husband until you came along and ran right over him. You ruined my life. So now, over the next 100 days, I'm gonna destroy yours.
But I just got this life. And again, I don't know who you are.
You will. Now scram, you little what's-a-mahooit. Go build a life so I can wreck it, just like you wrecked mine.
On it, ma'am. Wait, why am I taking orders from you?
I have the power to compel lesser beings. Get out of here before I decide to end you right now.
Her argument did definitely seem compelling, so I turned and ran away at, well, not quite the speed of sound, but believe me, it wasn't Dragon. Why does that bug have such a bug up her butt about me? I didn't destroy anyone's husband. If I don't solve this mystery before the 100 days runs out, my life is wrecked. On day 2, I emerged from a hiding place near the flowering trees and went to go search for some food. I hope they have my favorite food here in the flowering enchanted grove. And sure enough, under the canopy of one of the trees was a free pork chop, my favorite food. Everyone knows that Sonic the Hedgehog Dragon loves pork chops, and always has. Seconds after I demolished that tasty treat, a gaggle of green humanoids stepped out from the foliage and punched me. They were wave whisperers.
Bro, did you just eat our pork chop? That's so gnarly. By that I mean, that's a thing we don't like very much and wish you hadn't.
Sorry guys, I just can't resist a good pork chop. Everyone knows that about me.
Well, here's something you should know about us. We're gonna bait you up for the pork chop, and because we heard you killed someone's husband.
I didn't do it! But the wave whisperers didn't listen and started swinging at me with their oddly plant-like limbs. They might have been tougher and meaner than me, but I could run away faster. As I retreated, I also tripped over a... Huh? What are you? Some kind of giant rodent?
Rodent? Excuse your vocabulary. I am Andreas Debedianus.
In English, please?
Dullard. Now come with me if you want to live.
That, I understand. I followed Andreas Davidius. Yeah, I followed my new friend to the safer part of the grove. On day 3, I accompanied my friend, Andre the Giant, or however you pronounce it, to a small base in a more secluded part of the grove.
Pay attention, young neophyte. Thine may be a sonic dragon, but thou still have much to learn.
Like what?
Like how to pronounce my name for starters, oaf! But more importantly, thou show all the signs of having encountered a great and twisted evil. I must take you to a trusted associate for evaluation.
Wow, everyone I've met so far is really weird. I wonder if being a sonic dragon just brings that out in people.
You know you said that out loud, right?
Oh. Not long after, Andy McNabb had escorted me to a cool-looking studio, fit for an equally cool dude.
Here is where I must leave you, for now at least.
Why? Is there some deep, symbolic reason?
No, it can just get a little cramped in there.
I entered and saw Necromancer, strumming away at a cool guitar. Oh my goodness, Necromancer! You're a powerful sorcerer who can bring the dead back to life!
No, that's not who I am anymore. I'm now Necromancer, folk singer-songwriter. I don't want any questions about magic, about raising the dead, or any of that stuff. Keep it to the music, man.
Okay. When's your new album coming out?
That mantis asked me to bring her husband back to life. Makima Mantis is her name, but much like I told you, I don't do that stuff anymore. I don't even talk about it. Anyways, it's a complex ritual, and I still need to master my EP, so I just didn't have time.
Makima Mantis? That's interesting. So what exactly happened to her husband?
I told you not to ask me about that stuff! Keep it to the music!
Oh, sorry. What gets you inspired to write songs?
Makima Mantis is a deceptive being, and I can tell you probably had no part in her husband's demise. Just be wary. She has many abilities, and will likely use them on you if you're not careful. Keep your friends close, and your enemies far away. It's harder for them to get to you like that.
From day 4 to day 5, I remembered that I had a life to build. Makima Mantis said something about destroying all I had built, so I decided I better get building. She may be my enemy, but a sonic dragon should never disappoint people. I might get to learn more about what happened to her husband, too. I punched down a tree to gather wood for my first tools. Crafting a wooden pickaxe had to come first, because that would let me get digging in the mines. My pickaxe crushed through the ground, providing me with plenty of sturdy stone material. I think all this stone would be perfect for a sword. I bet nobody has tried that before. Feeling like a genius, I crafted my groundbreaking stone sword and began to show it off to Andrew David. Yeah, the rodent guy. Check out my stone sword, dude. It's radical.
I've seen better. Perhaps you should build a house before you start swinging stone swords around. around.
You're on. I can build a house. I can build anything, except for things I can't build. With my new revolutionary stone pickaxe and axe, I gathered more wood and stone from the area in preparation for constructing my home. It would be the best place that a Sonic Hedgehog dragon could ever hope to reside. While searching for materials far and wide, I accidentally fell into a river. There I was swarmed by a group of highly aggressive Picasso triggerfish. Normally I'd be panicking as they chipped away at my health, but I had a stone sword now, so I fought back and defeated them all. Wow, winning feels great. So great, in fact, that I powered up out of baby mode. I now have 20 hearts, and I can make attacks using my dragon calls. Way past cool. But before I forget, let's make ourselves a cozy base. I started to build a lavish base that reflected my inner beauty with a tad of flash, but nothing too flashy. I've never seen myself as an interior designer, but this roof goes really well with the lavender walls. A room here, some walls there. Now that's an aesthetic. From day 6 to day 8, I decided that my journey hadn't been dangerous enough yet, so I hopped through another portal into the Weeping Mire. Wow, this place is horrible. It's great. I decided to explore further, hoping there'd be some cool monsters to fight and some innocents to save. I was half right. In the distance, I saw a screaming crab getting chased around by a terrifying sectoid queen. Looks like I'm not the only one with bug problems. Time to help a brother out. I ran in and faced the sectoid queen one-on-one. She was tough for sure, but with my stone sword and claw attacks, I was soon able to push the horrible creature into the lava where it was burned to a crisp. Haha, saying that will probably scar me for life. After my victory, the crab approached me.
Wuzza, wooza, buzza, booza. That was amazing, pal. How'd you do that?
I just used the inherent strength of my sonic dragon form. Why was that sectoid queen bothering you anyway?
Well, it's a long story, actually. I was minding my own business up in the overworld when suddenly a creeper exploded right next to me. Next thing I knew, I was down here, and a big guy with horns was telling me I'd get chased by a sectoid queen forever as punishment for the things I did in life.
What things did you do in life?
Don't worry about that. Point is, you saved me, and now we can escape this place together.
Heck yeah!
Oi, don't say that here. Actually, come to think of it, I've got a score to settle with an old former work colleague that I did some jobs with. You can help me with that before we escape the mire?
I love helping.
Good kid. You're getting the hang of Omerta already.
From day 9 to day 10, I followed the admittedly kinda sketchy crab further into the heckish waste to take on his bitter old rival.
His name is Puma Concolor, a capo for the Gorgonzola Syndicate, until that big job in Messina went sideways and the skeleton army Valhalla'd him.
Wow, that sounds intense.
It was intense. I feel bad for the guy, but he also has some compromising information about me. I figured if you defeat him down here, it'll completely erase him from all planes of existence, thus sending the information to oblivion with him. You dig?
I think I went forward until I came upon Puma Concolor, who turned out to be a huge, tough cougar. Oh no, I can see why it took an army of skeletons to take you down in the overworld.
Yes, and that was before I bonded my spirit to the mire and developed a whole bunch of new powers, like this.
He blasted a fireball at me and decimated my heart. There was no way I could beat him in this state. I ran back to the crab. Crab, I can't beat him yet. Come back to my place. We'll train there together.
But Zozo, how will we escape the mire?
Somehow. From day 11 to day 12, I somehow made it back to the overworld in one piece. With the crab in tow, I returned to the base and decided it was best for me to stay home for a while. I wanted to focus on less life-threatening things, like home decor.
This is a pretty nice place you've got here, Zozo. It would be a shame if something happened to it.
Something will happen to it. A praying mantis lady said that she would destroy it.
She did? Well then, what are you putting so much work into it for?
Well, Crab, I may not have been around for that long, but I know that life is all about putting 100% of your effort into everything you do, even if you know that it's all doomed to be destroyed in front of you dramatically.
You're gonna go far, kid. You go see to building my accommodations. I got some ideas of my own. There's gonna be some big changes around here, Zozo. Big changes.
You said big changes twice.
That's how big they are.
Well, I built a room fit for a crab. I looked forward to the big changes that would surely be added to the house. And big they were. There was a training room for all of my athletic training needs, and since I was a sonic dragon, most of my needs were athletic related.
But that's not all, Zozo. We've got central heating now.
Crab showed me to the furnace room, which was one more big change that I could agree with. Thanks for the sweet furnace, Crab.
The pleasure is all mine. You know, furnaces come in handy for a lot of different things, Zozo. Don't worry about it.
Rather than ponder the implications of the crab's statement, I went down to the mines in search of some iron. Finding it was easy enough, and soon I ditched my stone pickaxe in favor of an iron one. With a bit more iron, I was able to create more iron ingots and make them into a sword. There was one more other big change I needed to attend to thank Crab for all of his services. I built a pool and filled it with cob to eat. No, not corn on the cob, just cob. As in the fish. From day 13 to day 15, I realized that I still needed to get stronger, but I didn't know how to get stronger. And while I had a cool training room, personal trainers weren't easy to come by. Instead, I did the next big thing, going to talk to the Andalorian about it.
That is not my name, knave!
That may or may not be true, Andy, but how do you think I can get stronger?
How can a man become stronger? He needeth a rugged environment to cultivate his inner strength. He needs to face worthy opponents. And most importantly, he needs chemical assistance to reach his full potential, even if it got to be banned from the 1996 overall bodybuilding competition.
We're still talking about me, right?
Go to the Mojave Desert, Zozo. You will find strength, or at the very least, a lot of sand, over there.
So I did exactly what he said, and ventured out into the unforgiving heat of the Mojave Desert. There, I knew I'd find some worthy opponents, or at least a pretty tough wave whisperer and his friends.
Wow, totally tubular, Dudenheimer. Isn't that the freak of nature that smoked Miss Mackama's husband? Well, you've gotta, totally beat him up, man. She's really torn up about this whole thing.
But I didn't do it, I swear. Why do you always trust everything she says?
She saved all of our lives once. I'm pretty sure. She stopped my house from burning down. She saved Steve's dog from a tree. And she performed first aid when Larry passed out that one time. Clearly, she's in the right, and you're in the wrong. If somebody did a nice thing for us, they can't have done a bad thing to somebody else. That'd be gnarly, in the bad way. Again.
It was clear these guys didn't listen to reason, so with my sword and my claws, I took them all on. They had the numbers, and I had the power, just like I predicted. And once they were defeated, they dropped a special potion, chemical assistance, just like the Andes mountain range said. I drank it immediately and felt my power growing. My hearts grew to 40, and I developed a new power, lightning breath. I'm stronger than ever! And to make things better, I now could fly! From day 16 to day 19, I seem to have taken a wrong turn somewhere and found myself in the desolate and ominous mangrove swamp. Am I the only one here? It must be because I'm much braver than anyone who isn't a sonic dragon. As I wandered through this strange muddy biome, I came upon a mysterious notebook, mysteriously left right in the middle of my path. How mysterious? I mean, I came all the way out here, might as well read it. I picked up the book and peered inside. Whoever finds this, please, you need to be super duper careful and stuff. Makama Mantis isn't telling the truth about what happened to her family. She's got the wrong person, and she knows it. Oh no, I think she's listening in on me. Oh no, the wave whisperers are here. Ah, please don't beat me up. I'm but a weak nerd with a notebook. No! Man, it seemed like that guy was in a whole lot of trouble.
Well, my righteous bros. What have we here? Is that Zozo Sonic, the Destroyer the Dragon?
You said all the words to describe me. Not sure about the order, but yeah, it's me.
Get him! Beat him up without mercy. For Miss Makama!
The wave whisperers surrounded me, but I was able to repel them with my claws. I backed up and drew my iron sword. Then, I proceeded to wail on them with lightning breaths. True to the name, they were knocked back, and then they were knocked out. From day 20 to day 22, I was in a mining cavern for some reason. I don't even remember how I got there. I hope this isn't a symptom of some kind of serious health issue. Anyway, let's get some more. With the help of my iron pickaxe, I ored until I couldn't stand it no more, filling my inventory with enough raw iron for a new armor piece. I returned to the base, where I used the useful yet oddly sinister furnace that the crab had created to smelt it into ingots, then made an iron chestplate, which was fashionable as well as protective. It's time to settle an old score. Well, not really one of my old scores, but one of the crabs, which is basically the same thing. Through mysterious methods and processes, I returned to the Weeping Mire. It was time to take on the powerful entity known as Puma Concolor, the Het Cougar.
You never should have come here. You really think you can defeat me? A level 7 Mire Maven?
I'm not even gonna try and unpack that wild world building. I'm here to erase you.
Then let's stop yapping and start fighting.
Fireballs! Fireballs everywhere! This level 7 Mire Maven wasn't going to give up. but neither was I. Using my knockback charged attacks, I struck him until he fell for one of the Weeping Mire's creepy spires, landing directly in the waiting fires and fulfilling the crab's desires. Bars! But all was not well elsewhere. Over at Makima Mantis's base, a new diabolical plan was brewing.
Yes, yes! It seems that Zozo is progressing nicely. He's building a good little life for himself. That'll make it all the more sweet when I destroy it.
From day 23 to day 26, I informed the crab that his former enemy, Puma Concolor, was now Puma gone no more. He's gone is what I'm trying to say.
You've done a good thing for me, Zozo. Good in the grand scheme of the universe? Who could say? But certainly good for me.
I'm a bona fide legend at getting rid of people, even though I didn't do that to Makima's husband.
Who can say, kid? Who can say?
Before I knew what happened, I was in the mining cavern again. Whoa, being a sonic dragon is full of surprises. My body seems to move faster than my mind sometimes. Well, you know what they say. All's well that ends well. With the next bunch of iron ore that I was able to gather, I smelted enough ingots to craft an iron helmet, boots, and leggings, which I then equipped because why wouldn't I? I returned to the overworld and saw that the crab had built a whole kitchen to add onto the base. It was awesome. Whoa, thanks, crab. You're honestly such a giving dude.
A certain other crab I once lived with didn't seem to think so, but she's been out of her life for a while now, so it's all hunky-dory.
Don't you mean out of your life?
Yeah, sure. What did I say?
From day 27 to day 31, I decided to once again return to the mangrove swamp because I found myself pining for its muddy floor and sinister atmosphere. One thing I didn't expect was to find a fully grown Gyarados in some sort of muck brick dungeon.
Yo, it's Zozo, the Sonic Hedgehog Dragon. I can't believe this.
Oh, so you're not gonna try and fight me?
Are you kidding? We're both from nostalgic 90s video game and cartoon IPs. Birds of a feather, my man. By the way you messed up those wave whispers when you were here earlier, textbook, man, textbook.
Thank you. It's really nice to be appreciated.
I was hoping, if it wasn't too much trouble, you could, train me. I totally understand if not, though.
No, man. By all means, head back to my base and I'll meet you there. Makima Mantis told me I needed to develop a full life before she came back and wrecked it. And having someone who looks up to me that she can destroy to hurt me emotionally later is perfect for that.
Sweet. Last one to the base is a rotten egg.
Before I left, I asked Gyarados for some special materials that Andor Trankin could use to improve the base in one of his little construction projects, and he gave me a bunch of mud bricks.
Excellent work, Zozo. As you can see, I've already put all of the resources you've gathered to good use.
I went and saw that Androgyny had created a bunker buried underneath my base. Wow, I guess this could be useful if ever there's some kind of nuclear event. From day 32 to day 35, I rushed back to the Necromancer's neck of the woods with San Andreas fault line. He moved pretty fast for a big rodent-looking thing. Androckles, are you also part Sonic or part Dragon?
Now is not the time for taxonomy, my implausibly chimeric friend. The Necromancer is in danger, and not just because his album is not selling well.
Then I'd better pick up the pace. I zoomed ahead, leaving Android Dream of Electric Sheep in the dust. I was nearly to the place where we had met the Necromancers, but I could sense something was horribly off. Something smells like seawater and tanning lotion. Oh no, the Wave Whisperers! As soon as I sensed them, they appeared like a wave of Wave Whisperers.
Ciao, bro. We owe you a beating, and we're here to pay our dues.
Where's the Necromancer?
He's surfing the big wave. The big wave, ciao.
You said big wave twice.
It's that big Deuterino. He's a goner. Ciao.
It couldn't be true. I used my iron sword to slice through the Wave Whisperers like an iron sword through Wave Whisperers. Beyond the group of gnarly Charlies, I found the Necromancer. He was truly not long for this world. I could tell by the way he was lying on the ground, dying.
It was a good tour, Zozo. It's over now. I'm playing my last song.
Necromancer, wait! Why can't you use your magic to bring yourself back?
I told you already, Zozo. I don't do that anymore. Apparently, Makima Mantis couldn't accept that. Like I said, it was a good run.
He was gone. Makima! From day 36 to day 39, I couldn't help but go back to the Weeping Mire. Maybe the loss of the Necromancer made me want to take more risks, just to feel something. When the going gets tough, the tough get going to the Weeping Mire. For some reason, that's when a mysterious figure with a long-beaked mask emerged.
I too do things out of absolute boredom. You might say I'm a free thinker like that.
Who are you?
I'm me wherever I'll be. I'm Dr. Plague Doctor, and I got 2 degrees in opinionology, so expect some takes so hot, only the Weeping Meyer could handle them.
Wow, you're like incredibly cool. But are you though?
Who told you I wasn't? The zombie horse. That guy is always stepping on my free expression. I'll give you some free medical advice if you want to go deal with him.
Well, I do have some memory trouble. I'll do it.
You said I'll do it twice.
Did I? I quested through the Weeping Mire until I found the infamous, at least according to Dr. Plague Doctor, zombie horse. Claws out. Let's do this. The zombie horse was tough, but my time in the Weeping Mire had taught me how to fight mire mavens, and he couldn't have been higher than a level 6. Soon enough, I had won the battle and returned to Dr. Plague Doctor to tell the good doctor the good news.
Whee! Excellent. I'll diagnose you with free thought.
Okay, but what about my memory?
What's to say there? If you didn't remember something, it didn't happen.
I see. So if I don't remember destroying Makima Mantis' husband, it must have been somebody else. From day 40 to day 43, I returned to the base from that weirdly inconsequential quest from that plague doctor guy. Oh wow, is that a pantry? It's full of delicious food. I must have made this place in my sleep. That's when Andromeda Galaxy popped out, looking annoyed at me.
'Twas me who built this place, you dolt, and for good reason, too. A number of my fellow Andres Davidiani will be arriving at this base post-haste, so there's no time to waste in sprucing up the place.
Okay, jeez. No need to bite my head off, Andalusia. Not long after that, a whole bunch of those weird rodent thingies arrived and just sort of hung out around my base, eating my food and taking up space in my pool. Yeah, I don't think I'd be that mad if Makima Mantis came over and destroyed all these guys. Before I could dwell anymore on those morbid thoughts, Gyarados came rushing over to me in a blind panic.
Zozo, I made a terrible mistake. I was so eager to come over here. I left a bunch of my mystical diamonds in the mangrove swamp. Whatever shall I do, bro?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll go there and get them myself. From day 44 to day 49, I traveled through the mangrove swamp in search of the mystical diamonds that Gyarados had left behind. Not the place I'd choose to lose a bunch of diamonds, but then again, I'm not a water-type Pokemon that evolves from Magikarp.
You're also not an innocent hedgehog, dragon, yeah, whatever you are.
It was Makima, and she looked like more of a menacing mantis than ever.
I have been watching you, Zozo. I've seen you build a respectable homestead and gather close friends who live there with you. I hope you haven't forgotten that I'm going to bring it all down, crashing down to heck.
Lay off me, will ya? I know I didn't destroy your husband, so you should have no reason to do that thing with my life, and you destroying my life.
We'll see who destroys who. Ostrich, come forth!
As Makima Mantis vanished into the mists of the swamp, a regular old ostrich sprinted towards me, ready for a pitched battle.
Let's dance, Zozo the Sonic Hedgehog the Dragon. And by dance, I mean fight. And by fight, I mean say your prayers, because I'm gonna destroy you alone.
He was fast, but so was I. Our high-speed battle began as we ran around each other and landed blow after blow. This might have been the most powerful opponent I'd ever faced, or maybe not. Who could really say? From day 50 to day 53, my battle with the ostrich continued.
The legends about you are true, Zozo. You've proven more than a worthy opponent. But do you know what I do to worthy opponents? I oppose them until they're completely destroyed.
And oppose me? He did. The fight was a tactical smorgasbord, blades and claws and feathers flying everywhere. But in the end, an ostrich is just one thing, and Zozo the Sonic the Hedgehog Dragon is like 3 things. He never stood a chance against me. Sorry, Ozzy. I was only using 1% of my power. When I actually started trying, I annihilated him instantly, and he dropped the mystical diamonds I'd come to pursue. Don't worry, Gary. You'll be iced up soon enough. From day 54 to day 57, I gave the mystical diamonds to Gyarados, but something was definitely wrong because he started to go totally berserk. Gyarados, what's gotten into you? Then I remembered those diamonds had been dropped by the ostrich, who was in cahoots with Makima, who definitely could have done something weird and sneaky to them.
Zozo, you'll pay for destroying Miss Makima's husband. This is the thing I care about most in the world now, despite the fact that you're my hero.
Yep, he's definitely brainwashed. I need to fight him to return to normal, but I can't go all out or he might be seriously hurt. I used my sword instead of my claws to reduce the damage. Gyarados had some strong attacks, but he wasn't a real dragon type, so I was still way cooler and stronger. It was a long struggle, but I was able to wear him down enough to make him tired. Now it was my chance to reason with him. Gyarados, it's me. Come back to your senses.
Must destroy for Makima.
Come on, Gary. What's more important to you? Being devoted to Makima or having friends? That snapped him out of it. Whatever spell had been cast over the mystical diamonds had worn off. The fight was done, and my friend was safe. How are you feeling, Gary?
Dude, Zozo, that was incredible. You saved me. I always knew that you didn't destroy anyone's husband, and the fact that Makima Mantis has resorted to brainwashing probably means that she knows you didn't either.
I reckon you're right. From day 58 to day 62, after baking some pastries and a pie, I decided to make some improvements to the base to lift all of our spirits after that weird incident with Gyarados. What always makes me feel better when I'm feeling down, other than my trademark favorite food, pork chops? Oh, I know, flowers! I spent the rest of the day lovingly cultivating a flower garden, which I figured would improve everyone's mood. The next day, speaking of improving, I decided it was time to upgrade my gear once again. It was really lucky that I mysteriously woke up in another mining cavern. This always happens at the most convenient times. I'm not even mad. Using my iron pickaxe, I dug up a bunch of diamonds, and not mystical cursed diamonds this time, legit diamonds. I went back to my base and crafted myself a diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. Oh yeah, I'm so excited. Soon after that, Andy Dufresne approached, looking typically annoyed at me.
Zozo, I've built a new base upgrade, one vital for you in particular. Look ahead, boy.
I looked behind Audrey and looked that he'd added an impressive library to the base. It was one of the coolest I've ever seen. Wow, that's one heck of a library.
Yes, I built it just for you, so you can finally get educated.
Thanks, that's weirdly backhanded, but I appreciate having a cool library anyway. From day 63 to day 66, the mining cavern called to me once more. I was getting used to hanging out down here, even when I wasn't mining. Yeah, what's mine is mine, and what's mine, is also mine. That's when the crab, who seemed to have been burying something down here, approached me.
Zozo, what are you doing down here? Get out of here. Go make yourself useful.
Should I go back to the Weeping Mire?
No, nobody is going back to the Weeping Mire. You should take a trip to somewhere more calm and peaceful like. How about them there plains?
I don't know. They sound kind of plain.
That they are, but you'd be surprised what you can find there. Or more crucially, not find there.
The crab seemed oddly insistent about the plains, so I made the trek out to the biome in record time. I don't think I've ever been in a place so peaceful. Then I saw it. A strange mob I'd never seen before striding towards me. I braced for the battle that I knew was coming.
Oh, hello! Welcome to the plains. I hope you enjoy your stay here. If there's anything I can do for you, just ask. I'm a Strider.
Or not. I guess this place really was calm and peaceful. I appreciate the hospitality, Strider, but is there anything I can do for you?
Oh, good golly gosh. I'd hate to impose, but there is this one thing.
You name it, Strider. You're like the friendliest creature in the entire overworld, and even though I just met you, I would fight anything to make sure you were happy.
Yay! Follow me. The quest is this way.
From day 67 to day 70, the Strider led me through the plains toward the quest which I just knew had to be epic and awesome.
We're almost there. Not everyone can keep stride with me. You're doing great.
I'm many things, but slow isn't one of them. Strider is practically my middle name.
Wowie zowie! Does this make us related?
I kinda hope not. My family tree must be crazy enough already. Soon enough, we came upon a stone crater wherein crouched a particularly mean-looking toad.
That's a warped toad. He has pushed me over every day for almost 70 days now, and I've told him to stop every day. Can you make him stop?
I'll do my best. I've never faced a warped creature before. What was he warped by?
He's just warped, you know? Like in terms of his ideals, that are incredibly twisted.
Ah, so he's like a free thinker?
No, more like a jerk.
Ah, yeah, that's no good. I'll have to take him out. That toad may have been warped, but now he was history. He dropped a strange item called a warped muscle. I decided to hang on to it, but wasn't entirely sure why. Defeated is the monster.
Yippee! You're a hero, Zozo!
You know, you're the first person to call me that, as far as I can remember.
This world is full of bad things, Zozo. Mire mavens, plague doctors, oh, and mantises who eat their mates. Can't forget those. The point is, heroes are needed.
Plague doctors are bad?
You may have missed the point there, but okay, thank you for your help.
From day 71 to day 74, I continued exploring the plains, which were a little plain, but also way nicer than all the nightmare dimensions I'd been hanging out in lately. No wonder I keep getting jumped. I hang around bad neighborhoods. But you know what isn't a bad neighborhood? The Zozo fandom! Do yourself a favor and after this video, type ZOZO for more banger vids, yo! That's when the ground started rumbling, followed by a huge explosion, which left a massive crater in the floor, leading down into the darkness. Whoa! And in a completely unrelated series of events, Makima Mantis also turned up. Did you cause that huge explosion, Makima Mantis?
No! I think it was a burst gas man or something. We're both lucky neither of us was hurt, because now I'm gonna hurt you myself! I will finally have vengeance for my Mantis husband!
Wait, Mantis husband? That reminds me of something Strider said!
I'm a Strider.
No, that other thing!
This world is full of bad things, Zozo. Mire mavens, plague doctors, oh, and mantises who eat their mates. Eat their mates.
Eat their mates.
Can't forget those.
That's it. I didn't destroy your husband. You ate your own husband and then altered the memories in your mind so you wouldn't have to feel bad about it.
No! No! You're a liar! I'd never eat my husband. He was my whole world. He was kind and smart and delicious. No, impossible. I refuse to believe it.
But it's the tragic truth, Makima Mantis.
You're just trying to put ideas in my head. For this, I'll destroy you extra hard.
She came at me, and despite my diamond gear and all my powers, her strength was still massively above mine. In the end, there was no choice but to turn and flee. I can't keep going on like this. There has to be some kind of way I can defeat this husband-munching evildoer. From day 75 to day 78, I was feeling pretty depressed after running away from Makima Mantis, so I went into my room to have a private brood about it. Even though the mystery of her husband's destruction was solved, she's still going to hurt other people. I thought I could stop her with information, but it seems like overwhelming victory in combat is the only way. And I'm just too weak. Shortly after my inner monologue, Gyarados showed up at my door and entered the room.
Zozo, what are you doing? We've got to stop Makima Mantis. You're acting more like Shadow the Hedgehog Dragon right now.
I just don't know what would make me feel better, other than seeing a brand new storage room in our base.
Buddy, do I have something to show you?
Gyarados brought me to a brand new storage room, and it was every bit as awesome as I thought it was. Thanks, Gary. This is even cooler than way past cool.
You're welcome, Zozo.
Just then, Anthropomorphic Dinosaur burst into the room, holding the warped muscle.
Salutations, plebeians! I have gathered data and run schematics on the warped muscle and used the power of science to draw out its latent potential. If Zozo eats it now, he'll be able to achieve untold levels of awesomeness.
I gobbled up the warped muscle, and it warped me into a cool guy. I was supersonic tough and had 100 hearts, as well as a lightning dragon fireball technique. I am forever changed by this warped muscle. From day 79 to day 84, I decided to use my awesome new size and power to annihilate some birds that were looking at me funny. Specifically, some macaws in a tree out in the plains. Eat my fire! I blasted fireballs until there was nothing but charred feathers. I felt kind of bad about it, but it had to be done. Maybe. After that act of wholesale bird slaughter, I continued wandering until I found a mammoth, just chilling.
Aye, bro. I was just here, contemplating the universe and junk. Ever think about how butterflies and moths are basically the same thing, but we love one and hate the other?
That's true. Darn. It's like how the true gauge of friendship is how much you feel the need to clean your place before they come over.
That's so deep, dude. Yeah, I have this diamond helmet. It doesn't even fit my big weird mammoth head anyway.
Oh, awesome. This will come in really handy. From day 85 to day 89, I noticed that the base had recently been damaged by some kind of enemy attack, and even more recently, was currently under attack by the Wave Whisperers. Guys, the mystery was solved. How long are you going to keep bugging me about what Makima Mantis did to her own husband?
Not cool, bruh. Framing a widow for destroying her husband in the first place? You must have eaten some warped muscle to have a strange outlook like that.
Sure I did, but what's your point? Lightning Dragon Fireball! I shot out a gigantic blast of dragon fire that sent the Wave Whisperers running and screaming for the hills. That did it. I had to chase after them and politely tell each one that they've misread the situation. I'm sure they'll listen to my side of the story now that I have lightning dragon fireballs. On my way to intercept the Wave Whisperers, I ran across a green anaconda while I was still in the flowering enchantment grove.
Come out, friends. Where are you?
Excuse me, Anaconda, did you just say you lost your friends?
Why, yes. My friends are a healthy and tasteful family of rabbits. Have you seen them?
Now that you mention it, I did see a rabbit burrow a few paces that way.
Many thanks. See you around the mire.
The green anaconda slithered off to find his friends. It feels good to do a good deed. From day 90 to day 94, I continued my relentless chase all the way from the flowering enchanted grove to the plains. Man, the stamina on these Wave Whisperers is crazy. How come they're able to outrun someone with the power of both Sonic and a dragon?
CrossFit, dude!
When we eventually came to a stop, I realized we were standing right outside Makima Mantis' tower.
It's over now, Zozo, my dude. We've got the home turf advantage. You can't even hope to.
I annihilated them with a fireball without a second thought. Now I've just got this feeling I'm gonna be totally safe forever.
Not so fast. Which is what you are.
I turned and saw with horror a terrible creature that was half dragon and half chicken. Only a group as maniacal as the British could come up with that.
It is I, Calvin Cockatrice, Makima Mantis' best and closest friend.
Wait, you are? How come she's never mentioned you?
What? Of course she hasn't mentioned me to a creature as lowly as you, Zozo. We're so close, we tell each other secrets. She definitely doesn't just call me over when she has a really strong enemy she needs me to fight. Our friendship is real.
And that was how my toughest battle yet began. From day 95 to day 97, the struggle against Calvin Cockatrice continued and was starting to get absurdly personal.
You're not even that fast. I've seen you run.
Sticks and stones, Calvin. I'm above insulting goofy-looking chickens like you.
Oh yeah? Well, you're not even fast.
You keep saying that.
Because it doesn't stop being true.
Calvin Cockatrice blasted me with a wither skull that I dodged because, contrary to what he says, I am actually pretty fast. I fired back with a lightning dragon fireball, which he didn't dodge because he couldn't dodge, because he was the one who wasn't fast after all. We moved into melee range, sonic dragon claws and cockatrice claws colliding in the craziest clash of the century. The armor pieces were breaking. I lost my boots, then my chest plate, but cleverly and conclusively, I cleaned his clock and won. To say it not in alliteration.
You owned me, Zozo. Now Makima Mantis is going to think I'm a loser.
I think she already does, my dude. You might as well give me some information on how to take her down. If you're truly her friend, you'd know all her weaknesses, right?
And betray my bestest friend in the whole wide world? I'd rather leap headfirst into the weeping mire.
She's so evil, and yet you'd do anything for her. I think I'm starting to understand the extent of her manipulation, and I feel bad for you, and worse for her husband.
Hey, he had a good run.
So did you. Adios! I released one last ball of dragon fire and blew Calvin Cockatrice to the weeping mire. On day 98, I returned to the base for one last time, just to hear what everyone had to say to me before the final fight with liar, manipulator, and husband-eater extraordinaire, Makima Mantis. First, Gyarados.
I forgot I was in this video.
Then, my good old friend, Andor, now available on Disney+.
Shame, Zozo. I thought by the end of this tale, you'd finally have gotten my name right as a show of character development.
What can I say, Andy Griffith? You can never predict what I'm gonna do. I began to dance, just to rub it in. And finally, the crab.
Have fun destroying that mantis, Zozo. If any arthropod had to be sent back to the mire today, I'd rather it be her.
With those inspiring words echoing through the halls of my heart, I set off for Makima Mantis's hideout. On day 99, I arrived at the tower and took a closer look at it. I realized it looked quite abandoned. Still, I had to get in. I walked up to the entrance and noticed it was being guarded by a small squadron of wave whisperers.
We're gonna destroy that Zozo Gazuni, then knock off to go shred some gnarly pounders, dude. And I mean, gnarly in the good sense this time.
I was devastated. How could I beat a squadron of hopped-up surf monkeys and still have the energy to destroy Makima Mantis too? I should have had more carbohydrates for breakfast. That would have given me the exact kind of slow-release energy necessary for a situation like this. But I had something else that's also necessary in a situation like this. The help of a friend. Strider came striding out of the tall grass, ready to put his life on the line so I could make my own life easier.
I'll distract them, Zozo. Then you go in there and take out that villain once and for all.
But those wave whisperers look so strong, Strider, and you don't even have arms.
Don't worry, Zozo. I have an ingenious plan. I'm going to block all their blows with my face and body.
Okay, we can try that, I guess. Strider ran in valiantly, and the wave whisperers totally creamed him. I mean, the poor guy got absolutely bodied, and I felt bad watching, but there were bigger fish to squeeze. While Strider was beaten into submission, I ran in to deliver the goods. On day 100, I busted into the tower and steeled myself for the showdown with the Mantis, the myth, the legend, Makima Mantis.
Zozo!
There comes a time for us to have our final battle, and that time is now.
I couldn't agree more. I'm about to do to you what I totally didn't do to my husband.
You're going to let me live a full and fulfilling life with each day more meaningful than the last?
I said what I didn't do, fool. I'm going to destroy you.
I disagree, but whatever. Let's do this. The battle began with a claw-to-claw smackdown, which was fairly even between the two of us. I managed to knock her off the tower, but she wasn't defeated yet. Her praying mantis claws had a slightly longer range than mine, so backing up would mean I'd get hit more. But I knew I still had my speed, so I dodged extra fast and got out of her reach. Then I unleashed the lightning breath, followed by another lightning breath. And just for good measure, a third lightning breath. I waited for the static to dissipate and saw that Makima Mantis was still standing and ready to charge straight for me. I only have one shot. Here goes nothing. My fourth lightning dragon fireball shot forward and was a direct hit on Makima Mantis. That one did it, and she was burned up in the Dragon Flame Inferno. At long last, I was cleared of having destroyed one Mantis by destroying another. On day 1, I spawned into the Aspen Forest as Tails, the awesome two-tailed fox, the best friend of Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, I'm a little baby Tails. This is adorable. Still, I can't wait to get bigger and stronger. But before I could even think about that, I was hit by a crossbow bolt and wounded. I turned and saw a big, scary armored Vindicator coming through the trees towards me.
Well, well, well. If it isn't Tails, I've been searching for you. You and your little blue speedster of a friend have had it too good for too long.
Wait, you mean Sonic? He's not here. I'm just Zozo playing his tails. What kind of problem do you have with me?
You seem to think I'm some common vindicator, that you can trick me. You're wrong, Zozo, if that is your real name.
It is!
I am a machine designed to destroy pesky little animals like you. And you may know my creator's name, Dr. Robotnik.
Oh no, not him. Anybody but him.
He gave me a mission. I have to destroy you in 100 days. And believe me, I will never fail my mission.
He talked a big game and looked like he could back it up, so I turned and ran for my life. I may not be as fast as Sonic, but that doesn't mean I'm not cool and tough. I'm gonna figure out a way to stop this evil robot from completing its mission. On day 2, I went deeper into the Aspen Forest, keeping a low profile to avoid being spotted by that terrifying armored Vindicator. If he was made by Dr. Robotnik to hunt us down personally, he's gotta be one tough customer. I've got 10 hearts, and I'm already injured, and my hunger bar is way too low. I've gotta get some food immediately. Lucky for me, surrounded by all these trees, it wasn't hard to find an apple tree and fill my inventory with yummy, healthy fruit. An apple a day keeps the armored Vindicator away. But that didn't mean it'd keep every enemy away, because soon enough, a frozen zombie came shambling towards me through the trees. A frozen zombie? What are you doing all the way over here?
I'm another one of Dr. Robotnik's experiments. I'm not just a frozen zombie, I'm a cyborg zombie.
That's just one more reason to run away from you really, really fast. And so, I did. I ran away, regretting that I didn't have Sonic's super speed. I managed to escape the frozen zombie cyborg, but on the way out, I almost stepped on a blob of slime. Ah, gross.
Hey, that's not very nice.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you could talk. I'm Zozo.
And I'm Blowbert, the conjured slime. You look a little anxious there, pal. A little green around the gills. Have a healing potion.
Blowbert gave me a healing potion, which I eagerly drank, feeling my hearts replenish. Phew! That was exactly what I needed. Thank you. It's a relief to know there are some nice people around here.
Very kind of you to say so. Come with me. A good friend of mine has a camp around here. You'll want to warm your hands by nightfall.
That's an offer I can't refuse. Lead the way, Blowbert. On day 3, I followed Blowbert through the forest as day slowly turned into night. Thank you for being so friendly to me, Blowbert. I feel like all I've done since I've gotten here is run away from scary people who want to hurt me.
I know how it is. This may surprise you, but people aren't exactly friendly to us conjured slimes. We have to deal with a lot of meanness from people, so I always try to be kind to others.
After a little more walking, I'd found the campfire Blowbert told me about. I went over and saw an iceologer warming himself next to the flames. Hello there! I trust you're a friendly one, or you would have started attacking me by now. You're right, I'm Zozo, and I'm on the run from Dr. Robotnik's armored Vindicator robot. Ah, Zozo, it's a pleasure. I'm Ivan the iceologer. I was here studying the ice caps until that dastardly Robotnik melted them to resurrect the frozen zombies. So now I'm hiding out too. Wow, Robotnik really has ruined everything out here. Is he still in the overworld? Nope, he left this dimension to go and trouble others, and left that armored Vindicator robot to rule on his behalf. Wait, so that means if I defeat the armored Vindicator, not only will I solve my own problems, I'll also save the entire world? Well, theoretically, but surely nobody can defeat the armored Vindicator. That's not gonna stop me from trying. From day 4 to day 5, I left the campfire with Blowbert and went exploring for a perfect place to make a base of operations.
Why make a base, Zozo? Isn't it better to stay on the move?
Rest is important, Blowbert. Plus, with a base, we can work on building defenses for ourselves in the event of an attack.
That's pretty sound logic. I guess you can have this wooden pickaxe I've been saving for a special occasion.
Blowbert gave me the wooden pickaxe, and while I didn't want to look ungrateful, I did use it to immediately mine into the ground and gather enough stone to make a stone sword and pickaxe. Sorry, Blowbert, stone is just more effective. But to make it up to him, I started building a cool little base with 2 rooms. One for me to sleep in, and another one for Blowbert. It wasn't much, but at least it'd be a roof over our heads.
Wow, Zozo, this is amazing. With a room to sleep in, I won't need to worry about someone stepping on me while I'm sleeping.
But that didn't mean I could afford to stop being alert.
Once my base building for the day was done, a vicious leaf leaf came running out of the forest towards me. There was no talking it down. Instead, I pulled out my stone sword and started attacking. Soon enough, I defeated the leaf leaf and gained enough XP to level up. I got bigger, stronger, jumped up to 30 hearts, and got an all-important new power, flying! This is awesome! Now I'm really just like Tails! From day 6 to day 8, I decided to put my new flying power to good use. I took off and soared all the way to the Basalt Barrera. It's so cool to see this place from above, but I could stand to get a closer look. That's why I flew down to the ground and started exploring. But it seemed that Dr. Robotnik's price on my head expanded even beyond his creations, because the second I touched the ground, an icy creeper came running towards me. Back up, back up, back up! Boom! The icy creeper exploded, leaving a huge crater in the ground. And I was able to safely descend again.
Great Scott! That was amazing, lad!
I turned and saw a rugged mountaineer emerge from behind a rocky outcrop. He came towards me, showing no signs of aggression.
The name's Michael the Mountaineer. But sadly, I've got a terrible sense of direction, so I still haven't found any mountains yet. Say, would you mind doing me a favor?
Does it involve helping you find a mountain?
Oh, you'd think so, but no. This rascal, the Vindicator Chef, used to be the personal chef for Dr. Robotnik when he was still around here. He needs to be taught a thing or two.
Well, it's not like Dr. Robotnik and his men can hate me any more than they already do. Let's do it! From day 9 to day 10, I followed Michael the Mountaineer through the Basalt Barrera until we came upon the Vindicator Chef. You stay back here, Michael. This could get tasty, and not in a good way. With Michael hanging back, I went in to confront the Vindicator Chef. But he seemed a lot gnarlier than you'd expect from a humble food service worker.
This sad little fox. My brother told me you'd be coming. I'm preparing a special meal for you. 3 courses, an appetizer of surprise, a main course of fear, and humiliation for dessert.
All this food for me, and all I'm gonna serve you is your words, Vindicator Chef. But I soon regretted being so arrogant, because the Vindicator Chef was not to be trifled with. He defeated me soundly, and all he could do was run away. Right back to Michael the Mountaineer.
Is everything okay, Zozo, old chap?
This chef is way more dangerous than I thought. I'm gonna need some better training and weapons before I can take him on. Wanna come stay at my base in the meantime?
Happily! I can search for more mountains there.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base with Michael the Mountaineer and immediately set about making him a chill little bedroom attached to mine in Blowbirds.
This is a truly wonderful little abode, Zozo. And in exchange for your hard work, I made a few little upgrades of my own for you.
I looked around the base and saw that Michael the Mountaineer had built a new storage room for weapons, armor, and supplies, and a furnace for smelting materials. This is awesome, Michael! Thank you! In fact, you've inspired me to do a little searching. That's why I explored an abandoned mining cave in the depths of the Aspen Forest, which was every bit as deep, dark, and creepy as you can imagine. But lucky for me, I found a vein of iron ore and used my stone pickaxe to dig it up. Once I'd collected enough, I went back to my base and used the furnace to smelt it into workable ingots. I used those ingots to make myself a cool iron chestplate. The best offense is a good defense, I've always said. The only thing the base was missing was some livestock, so I went about finding some sheep in the Aspen Forest and shepherded them back to the base. I built a little fence around them with enough space for them to roam freely. Now this base is feeling a lot more like a home. From day 13 to day 15, I once again spoke to my friend Blowbird. I needed advice from a goopy guy who knew his way around the block, so to speak.
I'd say you should start investigating the clues Robotnik left behind before he left the overworld. I know he had a present in the Basalt Barrera and the cold swamplands, so maybe there are clues for how to defeat the armored Vindicator out there.
Hey, it couldn't hurt. That's some great advice, Blowbird. Thank you. I flew out to the Basalt Barrera first, seeing as it was slightly more familiar territory. I started searching around for an entire day, but I couldn't find anything. However, a frozen zombie found me.
You're too late, Zozo. We've scrubbed this place of any evidence of Dr. Robotnik's plans. And next, we're going to do it in the cold swamplands.
Wait, so that means you haven't done this in the cold swamplands yet?
Oh, crud! Me and my big mouth. I better destroy you now to save face.
I flew into battle with the frozen zombie, and after a tough fight, I was able to finally take him down. And when I did, he dropped some kind of potion.
Well, I am a little thirsty. I drank the potion and suddenly felt myself getting bigger and stronger. I had 60 hearts now and a new power. I slammed my fist into the ground, shattering a bunch of the blocks below me. I guess I had some strength that even Knuckles would be proud of now. From day 16 to day 19, I flew into a totally new location, the cold swamplands. Can't say I'd want to build a summer home here, but if Robotnik used to have a research lab here, it's worth checking out. I touched down and started searching. I was actually searching for 2 whole days when I finally found a ratty old book laying in the swamp. The cover read, Robotnik Research Notes. That sounds like a real page-turner. Part I read said, the overworld research subjects have been mostly disappointing. The Vindicator Chef was a complete failure, and the frozen zombies are mostly weak. But the Armored Vindicator and the Dread Beast are extremely promising. The Dread Beast? Eesh, that doesn't sound good. My reading time was interrupted by another frozen zombie trudging towards me through the swamp.
You'll never survive my undead wrath.
I'm not afraid of you anymore! I ran in and defeated the zombie as quick as a flash! Sonic would have been proud of me if he'd seen it. From day 20 to day 22, I decided it was time to treat myself to a cool set of new gear. I've enjoyed stone, but I think I need some metal to take it to the next level. And where better to find metal than in the old mining cavern? I ventured back in and mined up a bunch more iron ore, which I then took back to the furnace at my base. Before I knew it, I had an iron sword and iron tools. With these, I think I can settle an old score. I flew back to the Basalt Barrero with my new gear and made a beeline for the diabolical Vindicator Chef.
Ready for me to cook up another whooping for you, you worthless fox!
Actually, I was thinking I'd cook this time. And I did. With my iron sword, I served up a heaping helping of Defeat the Vindicator Chef. In a flash, he was gone. If I can defeat one Vindicator, maybe I can defeat another.
Are you so sure about that, Zozo?
I turned and saw the armored Vindicator was standing right there. I had my sword ready, but he was too fast for me. He fired an energy blast at me that took off way too many of my hearts for my liking. So I turned and flew off. I was wrong. I'm nowhere near strong enough to beat him yet. From day 23 to day 26, I returned to my base to give Michael the Mountaineer the good news.
Zozo, welcome back, old chap. You're looking mighty cheerful. What news do you have?
I did it! That Vindicator Chef is toast!
Oh, I do enjoy a spot of toast. Oh, I see. You mean you managed to defeat him? Marvelous!
Yeah, it was pretty great. I do have a craving for toast now, though. I thought about making some toast, but instead I decided to satisfy a different hunger. My hunger for mining. I climbed back into the mines and found some more iron ore. Then, I took my freshly discovered ore back to my base and smelted it in my furnace. After making some iron ingots, I was able to craft an iron helmet and a pair of iron boots. I was trying on my new gear when Michael the Mountaineer approached me.
Afternoon, Zozo! I do appreciate your help with that terrible chef. I hope you'll allow me to express my gratitude, especially since I've already completed my gift for you. It's a new perimeter wall to keep us all safe and sound.
I love it! Thank you so much! From day 27 to day 31, I flew back to the cold swamplands to continue investigating the area. I wonder if I can find more research notes or something even more helpful. I searched the area for days without finding much. I was starting to get pretty discouraged. I was getting ready to turn around and head back home when a friendly illusioner walked up to me.
Excuse me, are you the fox that was here a while back? The one who totally wrecked that frozen zombie?
That sure sounds like me.
Rad! So, listen dude, I'm stoked you did that and all, but I kinda need some more help, if that's cool. You got a place I could crash for a while? I'm scared more of those frozen guys are gonna come through here.
Sure, you can come back to my base with me.
Sick!
Thanks, dude. I led the illusioner back to my base and left him to get settled in. Then, I visited my sheep and collected some wood from them. With more people staying here, I want to spruce the place up a bit. I think some decorative banners will do the trick. Putting up all the banners took a little while, but when I was done, I could tell the hard work was worth it. I wish Sonic could see this base. I bet he'd be really proud of me.
I'm sure he would, Zozo.
Lobert! Uh-oh, you look pretty upset. What's wrong?
I'm afraid Ivan's in trouble. He needs our help. I only hope it isn't already too late.
From day 32 to day 35, Blobert and I rushed to the aid of Ivan the Iceologer.
We followed the glow of his campfire, but when we got to the campsite, the cozy hideout was overrun with Dr. Robotnik's frozen zombies. Where's Ivan? I don't see him.
Don't worry, Zozo. I'll look for him. You handle these horrid creatures.
While Blowbird continued searching for Ivan, I ran as fast as I could and started slashing my way through the horde of zombies. When you're in a situation this dire, you've got to go fast if you want to survive. Take that, and that, and that! It was tough fighting so many of them, but I was a much better fighter than I was when I first spawned, and I was able to defeat almost all of them. I was about to finish off the last zombie when he started laughing. What's so funny?
An eye for an eye, Zozo. You may have destroyed my friends, but we destroyed one of yours too.
What? No, not Ivan!
Look at you, so sad. Are you gonna cry about it?
Maybe, but right now, I'm gonna do this! And with one final blow, I destroyed the last frozen zombie! From day 36 to day 39, I was desperate to get my mind off of losing Ivan. So I took off and flew all the way back to the Basalt Barrera. As I looked down at the landscape, I could see a geomancer trying to get my attention.
Hey, you! Over here!
I began my descent and landed right in front of him. Hey, did you want to tell me something?
More like ask you something. Hi, I'm Jeff. I've been studying rock formations around here for a long time now, and my research has been going pretty well. Or at least it was, until this super aggressive Cyclops showed up. He's been stomping all over the area and refusing to let me take any samples. He threatened to squash me if I tried again.
Yikes! That's no good!
Think you could help me get him out of here?
I'll give it my best shot. I took off into the air again, and with such a great vantage point, it wasn't long before I spotted the Cyclops. Hey, any chance you'll leave if I just ask really nicely? He didn't say anything, he just tried to attack me. Okay, well, I tried the easy way. Time for the hard way. This looks like a job for my Hulk smash. This time, it was the Cyclops who got crushed. Jeff the Geomancer was so relieved when I told him.
Thank you. I can't wait to continue my research. I'm trying to find new ways for people to protect themselves from the Armored Vindicator, you see.
He and his frozen zombies just destroyed my friend, and they're trying to get me next.
Oh dear, you'd better be careful. If you think his frozen zombies are bad, then you don't want to meet the Dread Beast.
I keep hearing about this Dread Beast. I really don't like the sound of him.
Nor should you. He's a vile creature and an extremely difficult force to defeat. Be careful out there. If you're taking on the Armored Vindicator, you'll certainly cross paths with the beast too.
From day 40 to day 43, I soared through the sky all the way back to my base. When I landed, I saw Blowbert waiting for me.
Zozo, welcome back! Look what I've been up to. I added some bookshelves and couches to the base. It looks pretty cozy, right?
Sure does. What gave you the idea to do all of this?
Well, if it isn't too much trouble, I was hoping we could invite some of the other conjured slimes to stay with us. It's a pretty dangerous world out there for a slime, and you've given me a really safe home. I'd love to share it.
Go for it. They're welcome here. The next day, a whole group of conjured slimes arrived at the base. Make yourselves comfortable, everybody. I love making new friends. After I greeted the slimes, the Illusioner came to speak with me.
Hey man, I could use your help with a, gnarly problem of mine. You think you could fight a Gorgon for me? One stole my pet axolotl and took him out to the cold swamplands. And I'm not strong enough to, well, get that little dude back on my own.
Sure, I'll do my best. From day 44 to day 49, I flew to the cold swamplands in search of the missing axolotl and the Gorgon who took him. This place is starting to give me the creeps. I hope I don't run into any more trouble out here.
A foolish hope, Tails. Your days are numbered, and soon I will fulfill my purpose and rid the world of you and your little hedgehog friend.
Ah, the Armored Vindicator! I keep telling you, Sonic isn't here, and I don't have anything to do with this.
No more lies. Your days are numbered, Tails, and soon they will run out. Mark my words, before they do, I will have destroyed you. If I don't, Dr. Robotnik will deactivate me for failing my mission, so I must not fail.
Pretty harsh. Maybe you should fight him instead of me.
Silence! I've had enough of you. Deathworm, handle this pathetic fox.
As the Armored Vindicator ran off, a huge, terrifying Deathworm slithered towards me. From day 50 to day 53, I faced off against the super intimidating Deathworm. With a name like Deathworm, I'm guessing you're not just looking for a hug.
I will destroy
Try, you Tails.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I can't let you do that. I like being not destroyed. So, Hulk Smash! I slammed my fist into the ground, sending the Deathworm flying backwards. While it was disoriented, I rushed at it with my sword and won the fight. Some Deathworm? You weren't so scary. I saw something drop on the ground where the Deathworm fell. Oh hey, what's this little note? It says, from the desk of Dr. Robotnik, the Armored Vindicator is my most promising creation. A tough combatant with no mercy or fear, but his weakness against diamond-based weapons is unacceptable. I must find a way to correct this. Wait a second. This sounds like diamond weapons might help me get the upper hand against the Armored Vindicator. I hope that's true. As I was leaving the area, I noticed something sparkly in the crater where I fought the worm. Mystical diamonds! This will come in handy later! From day 54 to day 57, I saw a tiny little axolotl waddling through the cold swamplands. Hey, little guy, are you looking for your owner? He seemed to trust me and started approaching me when a Gorgon suddenly jumped in between us and attacked. You must be the pet napper. Don't you know it's wrong to come between someone and their axolotl? She didn't answer me. She just kept trying to attack. Luckily, I had my sword ready, and with a few swipes of my blade, I made that Gorgon history. Come with me, little guy. I took the axolotl back to my base and delivered him back into the arms of the Illusioner. Hank, I missed you so much, buddy. Thanks, Zozo. You're a real good dude. From day 58 to day 62, I expanded my sheep pen to give the sheep more room to graze and walk around. Can't stop thinking about that note. I think I really need some diamond gear. Back to the mines! Down in the mining cavern, I dug tirelessly until I happened upon some diamonds. Perfect! Using the diamonds I mined and the diamonds I got from the Deathworm, I crafted a diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. If I were the Armored Vindicator, I'd be pretty nervous right about now. When I got back to my base, Blobert was practically bouncing with excitement.
Zozo, come look! I made the perfect hangout space for us, and the other slimes, and anyone else who wants to visit or stay here.
I followed him, and he showed me a new living area, complete with a fireplace. You did amazing work, Blobert. I'm so glad you're staying here with me. From day 63 to day 66, I was down in the mining cavern digging for more useful materials. I can't find anything. I wish I knew what I should do next.
Well, Zozo, my good chap, I believe I can be of assistance with that.
Ah, Michael, you scared me.
Apologies for the surprise, but an old chum of mine from the Dark Forest sent me a letter, and I believe she can offer you some valuable information.
Oh, thanks. I left the cavern and took to the skies, flying to the Dark Forest. When I landed, a gray hippogriff emerged from the shadows right in front of me.
I've been waiting for you, Zozo.
Stay back. I have a diamond sword.
Oh, gosh. No, I didn't mean it like that. I'm Michael, the Mountaineer's friend. My name is Gracie. I have some information for you about the Armored Vindicator. If you can help me with something first.
Sure. What is it?
Well, there's a troll trying to drive me out of my home here. I'd be able to focus on helping you out if I knew he wasn't going to try anything. But I'm too weak to fight him myself.
I'll give it a shot. From day 67 to day 70, I waited with Gracie for the bothersome troll to show up. After a day, he did, stomping up to Gracie and roaring in her face. She hid behind a tree to get away before he could attack her. Hey, leave her alone! The troll turned his attention to me, roaring and charging right at me. So I attacked with my new diamond sword. That nasty troll didn't stand a chance. You can come out now, Gracie.
Thank you so much, Zozo. Now for the info I promised you. The Armored Vindicator lives in an abandoned laboratory near here. I think it used to belong to Dr. Robotnik. It might even be where he was created. I can show you which way to go, if you want.
Yes, please. Just point me in the right direction. From day 71 to day 74, I followed Gracie's directions and began my search for the abandoned laboratory. I don't see anything but trees. I wonder where the laboratory is. It's so hard to find what I'm looking for. But it's not hard to find more Zozo videos. All you have to do is search ZOZO, and there they are. Finally, I spotted it. A big, creepy abandoned laboratory. Yes, this must be it.
You made a grave mistake coming here, little fox.
The Armored Vindicator had snuck up right behind me. I tried to attack him with my diamond sword, but he was still too strong. Uh-oh, I guess my diamond weapon isn't enough. I'll need to get stronger too. I didn't want to, but I had to run away before he did too much damage to me. From day 75 to day 78, I ran all the way back to my base and stopped only when I reached my room. Can't believe I had to run away. I thought I was ready. I guess I was wrong. I didn't want to face my friends while feeling like a loser, so I just went to lie down in my room. Sometime later, I heard someone entering my room. Who is it?
Hey, dude! We wanted to give you some good vibes, so we made some rad improvements around the pad. Come check it out!
I followed the illusioner and saw that everyone had built a watchtower. Oh, wow! Thank you. That does make me feel a little better.
I also brought you a present.
Blowbird handed me a magic golden apple. I took a bite and immediately felt much better. Not just because I needed a snack, but because it made me transform into a bigger, stronger fox. My hearts increased to 100. I was so excited. I spun around and I unleashed a whirlwind attack. Well, that's new.
Maybe that's just what you need to get the advantage in your battle with the Armored Vindicator.
From day 79 to day 84, I flew back to the dark forest, feeling confident. When I landed, I spotted a siren attacking a pink pixie. Well, I wasn't going to just stand there and let that happen. Hey! When the siren looked at me, I blasted her with the whirlwind attack and it blew her away. I could get used to this.
Thank you. You saved my life. I wish I could repay you.
No worries. I'm just glad I could help.
Wait, I can. I forgot I was carrying this. Here, I hope you'll find it useful.
She handed me a sparkling new diamond helmet. Wow, this is amazing. Thank you. I put it on right away, and I felt tougher than ever. From day 85 to day 89, I flew back to my base in a really great mood. I had a new ability, a new helmet, and a new confident attitude. When I landed though, I got a feeling that something was really wrong. I was right. As I approached my base, I could see a horde of frozen zombies crawling all over it. I even destroyed our new watchtower. Stop it!
We would, if you would accept your doom at the hands of the Armored Vindicator.
Never! I used my whirlwind attack to knock the zombies over, and I tried to chase them, but I lost track of them in the woods. While I was trying to see which way the zombies went, I spotted a cockatrice. Hey, did you see some frozen zombies run through here?
I sure did. I can tell you where they went. If you do me a favor and help me break open this here chest. I lost the key, and I can't get it open.
I broke open the chest with one swipe of my pickaxe, and the cockatrice grabbed the book that was inside.
Hooray! My Mima's recipe book! Thank you, kind stranger. They went that way.
From day 90 to day 94, I followed the cockatrice's directions and tracked the frozen zombies to the abandoned laboratory in the dark forest. I should have known they'd be here. I was about to confront the frozen zombies when a huge, terrifying dread beast emerged from inside the lair.
I see you, Zozo. You can't hide from me.
Uh-oh. Well, if I can't hide, I guess I have no choice but to fight. With nothing else left to do, I drew my sword and got ready for battle. From day 95 to day 97, the dread beast rushed at me and attacked. I dodged, but he was fast and strong too. This is gonna be my toughest fight yet.
It was always going to end here. Accept your fate, and I will make it quick. So I can't promise it won't hurt a lot.
No, I won't give up. I can't give up. Not just for me, but for everyone that Dr. Robotnik and the Armored Vindicator want to harm. I summoned all my strength and Hulk smashed the ground, toppling the Dread Beast. Then I used my whirlwind attack to keep him down. Finally, I finished the battle with my diamond sword. I did it! I did it!
Fool! The battle has only just begun. After you, my master will obliterate your little blue hedgehog friend. Then the echidna will be next. You will all suffer.
With those last words, the Dread Beast was gone. I won't let that happen. I know now that I need to make sure I don't lose this final fight. I've got to go home and make sure I'm really ready to do this. On day 98, I flew back to my base, where all of my friends were waiting for me. I decided to speak to each one of them, one by one. First, I spoke to the illusioner.
Hey man, how are you feeling?
I'm scared, but I'm determined. I can't back down, no matter how nervous I am. Then, Blowbert.
I know you can do it, Zozo. You are a truly impressive hero, and you've done so much for me and the rest of slime kind. You'll defeat the evil once and for all. Here, I brought you this to protect you.
Blowbert handed me a royal shield. Thank you. And finally, Michael the Mountaineer.
I don't have much to gift you, old sport, but I do have this potion of strength. It's just as reinvigorating as a nice spot of tea.
I drank the potion and immediately felt more powerful. Thank you, all of you. I promised to do my best. On day 99, I flew back to the old laboratory in the dark forest to face off against the armored Vindicator. Let's do this. There were a ton of frozen zombies stationed in front of the entrance. Oh great, it'll take me forever to fight through those guys. Just then, Gracie the Gray Hippogriff emerged from a hiding spot behind a tree.
I'm here to help. I've been training, and I think I can fight for myself now, and also fight for you. Let me handle the zombies. You take care of the big guy.
Thank you, Gracie! While she rushed at the zombies, I slipped inside the armored Vindicator's lair. On day 100, I entered the laboratory and confronted the armored Vindicator.
So, it's come to this. Prepare to taste defeat, Tails. I won't be deactivated by my creator. I will serve my purpose.
We don't have to do this. You could just walk away peacefully, or even come stay at my base. I'll help protect you against Dr. Robotnik.
You can't trick me. Stand and fight me. This is what I was made for.
He charged at me and attacked, and I knew I had no other choice. I used my whirlwind attack to knock him out of the way. Then, it was all about the sword fight, and I could tell my diamond sword was doing some damage. He got in a few good hits, but I kept going. I got knocked down, but I got up again. He couldn't keep me down. Finally, I struck one more blow, and he fell for good. I did it! I won! I wish I could stick around to see Dr. Robotnik's face when he finds out he lost, but I don't want to be here when he comes to inspect the lab. Time to go back home and celebrate. Gotta go fast. On day 1, I spawned in as an awesome Warden Ninja, right in the middle of my Warden Ninja hideout. But there were no other Warden Ninjas around. In fact, the whole place was full of Dread Ghouls. While several of them were standing at attention, one of them was standing back and giving orders.
Destroy everything, my Dark Warriors! We are under orders to eliminate every last Warden Ninja we can find.
I didn't understand why this was happening, but I wasn't going to take it lying down. Who's giving you these orders, you cowardly Dread Ghoul? That's when I heard booming footsteps behind me. I turned and saw a huge dark figure approaching me. I was only a tiny Warden Ninja, and I didn't have any weapons yet, so he terrified me.
I gave the orders. I am Shogun Skull, the ruler of this land. And all who defy me will be destroyed, including you.
Shogun Skull pulled out a huge katana. He looked like he meant business. I needed to activate my special power, Ultimate Stealth. I practically turned invisible, immediately causing Shogun Skull and his Dread Ghouls to lose my trace.
Where did he go? He's using his ninja abilities to run away like a coward. No matter. We'll find and destroy him another day.
As much as I was ashamed to admit it, all I could do was run. I got out of there and ran out into the alien fields, looking for some food to satisfy my hunger. I managed to find some baked potatoes, but they were being guarded by a band of 3 brigands. Excuse me, brigands, would you be able to give me one of your baked potatoes? I'm really hungry.
Would love to, man, love to. But here's the thing, they're all mine, and I want them all. So that's gonna be a no.
The brigands attacked me, even though I was unarmed, and I needed to fight back. Luckily, my unarmed attacks actually did a lot of damage, and soon I defeated all 3 of them. That must be my ninja martial arts training kicking in. There's hope for me yet. On day 2, after eating some of those baked potatoes and storing the rest, I left the alien fields for the Ebony Woods, looking for the right place to build a base. The Ebony Woods are dark and mysterious, perfect for a secretive Warden Ninja. I used my martial arts powers to start punching down a tree and gathered up the resources to make myself a crafting bench and used it to create a wooden pickaxe. Then I mined into the ground for some stone to make my first set of stone tools and a basic stone katana of my own. Now we're cooking with gas. I used my new tools to clear a tree and start building a new secretive ninja base. I did some mining underground because I wanted the base to be a secret, so most of it would need to be under the surface. It's a good start. I'll do more later, but first, I need to figure out what's going on around here and why Shogun Skull is putting a hit on Warden Ninja heads. I went exploring around the Ebony Forest looking for clues until I found another gang of Dread Ghouls that Shogun Skull had sent after me. Big mistake, guys. This time, I'm armed.
I pulled out my stone katana and made short work of the Dread Ghoul gang, leaving only one remaining. Tell me everything I need to know about Shogun Skull.
You fool! Even me talking about him seals my doom. You should know, you are a key part of his…
Boom! The last Dread Ghoul exploded! It must have been Shogun Skull's doing. He really was powerful. But what was he trying to say? I'm a key part of what? Better keep watching if you want to find out with me. On day 3, I continued searching around the Ebony Forest. I needed some kind of lead, some kind of vital clue, before I could progress any further. That's when I happened upon a small hut in the middle of the woods, where a strange man was just sitting around. Hi, I'm Zozo. Who are you?
I'm a nomad.
Oh yeah? What does that mean?
It means I used to wander around a lot, but since I got old and settled down, I don't do much traveling these days. What brings you to the Ebony Woods, Zozo?
He gave me some mushroom stew, and I sat down to talk to him. Well, I'm a Warden ninja, and I used to live in a big Warden ninja hideout with others like me. But then Shogun Skull attacked, and now I think I might be the only one left.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. You know, things were once more peaceful across the land. There were dangerous creatures around, and sometimes a fight would happen, sure. But overall, we lived in harmony. Until one day, all of the leaders across the land suddenly disappeared, and the Shogun Skull rose up, taking on everything and everyone. He's the uncontested ruler now.
But we can't just let that happen. What should we do, Nomad?
It won't be easy, but your quest is simple, Zozo. You're going to destroy Shogun Skull.
From day 4 to day 5, I still had more questions about how the world got this way. I just didn't understand how one person could take over the whole world.
Well, Zozo, you must understand that the Shogun didn't just win by sheer brute strength. In his Shogun's palace to the east, he made some valuable alliances with different groups. First, he made an alliance with the Dread Ghoul army, promising all the land and food they could want if they helped him rise to power. Then, he made a deal with the bandit warlord, the leader of the brigands. They could loot and pillage as they pleased, as long as they helped him crush his enemies. Dread ghouls and brigands started attacking any village or settlement they could find, crushing the opposition to Shogun Skull's rule. But the leaders? Nobody really knows how Shogun Skull got rid of them. He hired some other mysterious group to do his dirty work for him, but who they are has always remained a secret. In other words, to defeat Shogun Skull, there are a lot of other enemies you'll need to fight your way through first.
From day 6 to day 8, I thanked the Nomad for all the information he gave me and decided to set off and return to my base. It was getting dark, and I knew that all the mobs would be coming out soon. But on the way back to my base, I saw an innocent pink pixie cornered by a vicious feral squall golem. I needed to intervene. It's ninja time! Pulling out my stone katana, I ran in and fought the squall golem. He was much bigger and tougher than your average dread ghoul, but in the end, my stone blade and ninja training won out. The squall golem was defeated, and the pink pixie was grateful for me for saving her life.
That was so heroic. Thank you. I majorly owe you for this one.
It's no biggie. I'm Zozo, the Warden Ninja. Who are you?
I'm Polly, the pink pixie. And is there any way I can help you with your quest?
How about you come stay at my base for a while, and we figure something out together?
That sounds like a good idea.
So Polly and I returned to my base. I continued mining underground and created a cool room for her to stay in.
I'm pretty pleased with this.
Good. Now, I'm on a quest to defeat Shogun Skull. Do you have any idea what might be a good place to start?
Well, Shogun Skull is one of the greatest warriors in the world. You're gonna need to train really hard if you want to get good enough to fight him directly. Maybe you should seek out some kind of ninja master to train you.
That's an amazing idea, Polly! And so I had my next step, seeking out a ninja master to train me. And if you want to find out what happens next, keep watching until the end. Some big surprises are coming. From day 9 to day 10, I went to an underground cavern with my stone pickaxe to mine some iron for my next set of weapons, armor, and tools. I managed to gather up some iron ore when a huge hydra suddenly appeared in the cavern with me. There was no way I'd be able to fight such a powerful monster directly, so I activated my ultimate stealth and sneaked away to the exit. Sometimes the best way to fight is to not fight at all. From day 11 to day 12, I took the iron back to my base. I created a furnace and smelted it into iron ingots, which I then used to make iron armor, some iron tools, and an iron katana. And with all my fancy new gear and weapons, me and Polly the Pink Pixie decided to journey out to a nearby bayou to look for more clues. After some exploring, we stopped for a minute to talk. So Polly, what do you know about Shogun Skull? I'm trying to collect all the information I can. I think it might help me in my quest.
Well, in addition to his Dreadghoul and Brigand armies, I know he has an elite group, 3 warriors spread out across the land who help enforce his will.
3 elite warriors? Sounds like I better take care of them before I take on Shogun Skull himself. Who are these 3 warriors?
There's the Gold Creeper, a walking weapon of mass destruction that people always fear is gonna blow up. Then there's the Fire Elemental, a powerful being with mastery over flame. And finally, there's the Crimson Wizard, a crafty and intelligent sorcerer who has mastered the Mystic.
Wow, sounds like I've got my work cut out for me then. Before I could ask any more questions, a bunch of monster mushrooms attacked us. Even with my iron katana, it wasn't easy to take them down. These mushrooms meant business. But when I did take them down, I transformed into a bigger, stronger Warden Ninja with 20 hearts. Whoa, this is awesome! Better stick around to see what I transform into next.
That's rad, Zozo. But hey, maybe next time we should go somewhere a little drier. This bayou is just gross.
From day 13 to day 15, Polly and I returned to my base. I decided to spruce it up a little, adding some plants and other decorative improvements, and actually decided to make myself a proper room. Just because it's a secret underground base doesn't mean it has to be drab and dreary. That's when I remembered what Polly had said to me.
Maybe next time we should go somewhere a little drier. This bayou is just gross.
And it hit me, what could be drier than the Mojave Desert? Maybe I'd have some luck finding someone there. After taking some time to rest, I went out to the Mojave Desert. It was just as dry and hot as I expected, but there didn't seem to be much going on. That's when I was attacked by the Desert Lord, the ruler of the desert. Because he was on his own home turf, he was even faster and stronger than a ninja, and it was too late for me to use ultimate stealth. I broke away from the fight and stood back, but the Desert Lord still seemed ready to battle. You are a trespasser on this land. This is my desert, and I'll never let you or the diabolical Shogun Skull you serve claim it. Wait, there's been a misunderstanding. I don't work for Shogun Skull. I want to defeat him. Oh, I'm sorry. I just assumed you was working for the Dread Shogun. But why? Didn't all the Warden Ninjas used to work for him? My mind was blown. It all made sense now. The mysterious third group who worked with the Shogun Skull, it must have been the Warden Ninjas. But why was he trying to destroy them now? Desert Lord, you've given me a lot to think over. Would you like to come back to my base and we can work together to defeat Shogun Skull? Well, I hate to leave my desert, my true home. For now, it seems working together is the most sensible choice. Let's go, Warden Ninja. The name's Zozo. Follow me. From day 16 to day 19, I returned to my base with the Desert Lord. I mined a new underground room for him, complete with a bed and even a few sandblocks, just to help him feel at home. It's not exactly the desert, but thank you, Zozo. This'll do. Seeing as how exploring had helped me discover plenty of interesting new things so far, I decided to continue visiting new locations, so I left my base once more. I went out to the prairie next to see what I could find. That's where I ran into a camel. Hey, Mr. Camel, I'm Zozo. Is there anything I can help you with?
The name's Joe. And as a matter of fact, there is. For the longest time, I've wanted to build a nice beach house on the Rainbow Beach, but it's infested by wraiths now. If you could help me clean out those wraiths so I can build my beach house, I'll give you a weapon I've been holding on to for a while. Something you might find useful.
That sounds like a good deal to me, Joe. From day 20 to day 22, I journeyed out to the Rainbow Beach to complete my mission for Joe the Camel. It was a really beautiful place. I could see why he wanted a beach house out here. When I ran into the group of wraiths he told me about, I drew my katana and charged in, slicing and dicing in a way that would make any Warden Ninja proud. Soon, they were all defeated. I'm getting the hang of this whole ninja thing. Then, I saw something quickly moving towards me and noticed it was the Gold Creeper, one of the elite Shogun Skull warriors that Polly had told me about. Oh no, I gotta bounce. I didn't have any long-range weapons, so all I could do was run for my life as the Gold Creeper chased me. If it exploded while I was too close, I was doomed.
but it kept chasing, getting closer and closer and closer. It started to get too close for comfort, so I jumped forward into some nearby water, hoping it would at least provide some protection. Boom! The gold creeper exploded! It was the biggest explosion I'd ever seen, taking a huge chunk out of the beach around me. But I'd survived! I'd completed Joe the Camel's quest, and I'd defeated one of Shogun Skull's 3 elite warriors. I'd call this a successful day. From day 23 to day 26, I returned to the prairie and met with Joe the Camel again. He was pleased to find out I'd gotten rid of the wraiths, and less pleased to find out the golden creeper had blown a big hole into the Rainbow Beach.
Still, a deal's a deal, kid, and you held up your end. You can take this set of throwing axes I have. Since you're a ninja, you'll probably benefit from some thrown weapons, perfect for those stealthy kinds of attacks.
Wow, these will be so useful! Thanks, Joe!
Don't mention it. If you need me, I'll be off constructing my beach house.
With that quest taken care of, I decided to continue exploring the world. I reached the scenic Red Oak Forest, where I ran into a gang of mossy skeletons working for Shogun Skull.
You're in some real trouble now. No bones about it.
That was an awful pun. Eat axe. I tried out one of my new throwing axes on the first of the mossy skeletons, defeating him instantly. Then I pulled out my iron katana to deal with the rest. It didn't take long for me to defeat them, all except one, who I needed some information from. Tell me what Shogun Skull is planning!
Ha! You're deluding yourself if you think you can beat him. He just sent out the armored Vindicator. If that thing gets you, you're doomed! Doomed!
With a strike of my katana, I finished him off. That gave me enough XP to level up, getting bigger, jumping up to 30 hearts, and getting access to my Warden Sonic Boom ability. This will be useful for helping me take on that armored Vindicator guy, if I ever even see him. From day 27 to day 31, I started making my way back to my base through the Ebony Forest. I was feeling pretty good about all my recent victories and the new abilities and weapons I'd gained. I'm actually feeling pretty unstoppable right now. And that's exactly when the armored Vindicator hopped out and attacked me. He was just as big and scary as the mossy skeleton had implied, and he was wielding a menacing axe.
Your journey is at an end, Warden Ninja. If you give up now, I can promise it'll be relatively painless.
I'll never give up. I'm willing to fight you to the bitter end.
Good. I was hoping you'd say that.
The armored Vindicator attacked once more. Every hit he gave me was shockingly damaging. Even with all my upgrades, I couldn't beat him at my current strength. Instead, I turned and ran back towards my base, narrowly managing to outrun and lose the armored Vindicator. That would be a battle for another day. When I reached my base, the Desert Lord and Polly the Pink Pixie seemed impressed with my new size.
Looks like that training is really paying off, Zozo. You're looking swole.
It's true. Just so much bigger and stronger than you used to be.
And since you're here, I've also got something that I think you'd like. My research suggests that if you go to the Rose Fields and seek out the Sergeant, he may be able to give you some information that'll help you with your quest.
Wow, that's amazing news!
Just be careful out there. I've heard that the Sergeant isn't exactly the friendliest guy out there.
With that in mind, I left my base and headed in the direction of the Rose Fields. From day 32 to day 35, following the Desert Lord's instructions, I went out to the Rose Fields. There, I saw the Sergeant sitting down and meditating among the roses. I didn't expect it'd be so easy to find him. I approached the Sergeant and called out to him. "Excuse me, Mr. Sergeant. I've been told you have some interesting information. Could we talk about it?" But the Sergeant didn't seem like he wanted to talk. Instead, he got up, ran towards me, and started fighting me with his fists. I didn't even have time to reason with him. All I could do was fight back against his onslaught of punches. After I survived for long enough, the Sergeant relaxed. He'd had his fun.
Nice skills, kid. Sorry, what can I say? I like a good fight. What information did you want?
I've been told you know a lot about Shogun Skull. I'm trying to defeat him.
Ha, Shogun Skull. I fought against his army back in the day. I was involved in a lot of those battles. What is it you want to know about him?
I want to know what the Warden ninjas had to do with his rise to power, and I want to know why he wants us all destroyed now.
That much is simple. As part of Shogun Skull's takeover plans, he needed to destroy the leaders and guardians of the free people to demoralize them and break their spirits. While his armies fought their armies, he needed an elite group of assassins to take out the high-value targets.
That's where the Warden ninjas came in. They are excellent assassins, and with their stealth skills, they could sneak in and get the job done. And they did their job very, very well. But once their job was done and Shogun Skull was in power, he knew that if the Warden ninjas could help him into power, they might also be able to topple his throne. So he sent out his armies of dread ghouls and brigands to destroy every Warden ninja. You, kid, are probably the last one left.
From day 36 to day 39, I returned to my base. Knowing that I was public enemy #1 for Shogun Skull made me realize I could really do with some better armor, so I asked Polly for ideas.
I think the Shogun has a base in the tropical rainforest where you might be able to find some diamonds. Diamond armor and a diamond katana would be a huge help for you.
Excellent idea, Polly. I'll go there now. I didn't waste any time getting to the tropical rainforest and beginning my search for the enemy base. On the way there, I ran into an air elemental that lives in the forest.
Excuse me, kind sir. I have a quest I need help with. Some nasty dead worms have invaded my beautiful rainforest. If you see them, do me a kindness and perform a little pest control, would you?
Of course. I'll definitely get rid of those dead worms if I see them. I kept searching until I struck gold. Well, not actual gold. I found the enemy base, guarded by a pair of dread ghouls, and it was time to fight my way inside. From day 40 to day 43, the fight began, first with the dread ghouls. That was an extremely quick battle. I pulled out my throwing axes and threw one at each of them, defeating them instantly. Then I ran into the base, ready for the real fight to begin. And it would definitely be a real fight because the armored Vindicator was in there, waiting for me.
Finally, I can finish what I started and destroy you, Zozo. At least this time, you won't run away like a sad little coward like you did before.
No, this time I really am going to fight you with all I've got. The armored Vindicator charged at me. I unleashed the sonic boom, stunning him. While he was stunned, I finished him off with my powerful ninja swing. I told you I'd beat you, armored Vindicator. I'm a Warden ninja of my word. With him gone, I searched around the room until I found a chest. Just like Polly the Pink Pixie had told me, there were diamonds inside. Looks like my armor and weapons are about to level up. From day 44 to day 49, I crafted my diamonds into a powerful diamond katana and even had some diamonds left over to make a full set of diamond armor. I'd hate to have to go against me using this bad boy. After that, I left the base with my new diamond katana in hand, looking forward to finding something to use it on. And as luck would have it, I happened upon a small gang of vicious dead worms. Hey, the air elemental told me to get rid of these. Time to kill 2 worms with 1 sword. Okay, a few more than 2. With my diamond katana, I defeated all the dead worms with ease and destroyed the infestation. Not even the Shogun himself could deny I was stronger than ever now. From day 50 to day 53, as I traveled further through the tropical rainforest, I came upon a cave that I sensed an unusual amount of power coming out of. This must have something to do with Shogun Skull. I should go investigate, just in case. But when I was about to enter the cave, a magical genie came floating out of it.
Halt, traveler. You are approaching the cave of the fire elemental. If you wish to enter, then you need to answer my riddle.
I remembered that the fire elemental was the second of the elite warriors working for Shogun Skull. I needed to answer the riddle, get in there, and defeat him. Okay, what's your riddle?
I belong to you, but your friends use me more often. What am I?
It was a challenging one. What do you think? Do you know the answer to the riddle? If you do, let me know down in the comments to help me out. Can you repeat the riddle?
I belong to you, but your friends use me more often. What am I?
That's tough. Wait, I've got it! You're my name. It belongs to me, but my friends use it more often when they talk to me.
Correct. You may pass through.
I entered the cave and saw the fire elemental waiting for me. He sent a few fire blasts my way, which I was luckily able to dodge. I fired a sonic boom at the fire elemental, then ran in with my diamond katana. With a few quick, decisive swipes, the fire elemental was destroyed. 2 of Shogun Skull's 3 warriors were destroyed, and I was ready to level up. I got bigger, stronger, and my hearts grew to 40. I had also developed ninja speed, making me faster than ever before. I'm on the path to becoming a true ninja. I bet the Shogun is quivering in his boots.
From day 54 to day 57, I was using my new ninja speed to zip through the forest. My powers were growing, but I needed some kind of way to hone my skills. Why can't I find the Ninja Master Mentor? I've searched everywhere and I still can't find him. Unless I've already found him and didn't even know. That's when it hit me. It was right under my nose from the very beginning. The nomad in his little hut in the ebony forest. The nomad who'd known a suspicious amount about what was going on in the world. I need to go back to the nomad right now. So I sped right back to the small hut in the forest, only to see the nomad outside again, waiting for me.
I wondered when you'd be back, Zozo. Glad you finally figured it all out. So, are you ready to begin your training?
From day 58 to day 62, the Nomad Master began his training. He said there would be 3 lessons. The first would be cutting down trees to practice my sword swings and to help me focus.
If you can slice through a tree, then no enemy should pose a challenge to you.
Next, he made me practice sword fighting with him. He was a tough opponent, but I could feel myself getting better as the sparring went on. And for the third lesson, he released a giant mummy scorpion and got it to chase me around until I finally built up the courage to defeat it with my diamond katana. Afterwards, I returned to the Nomad Master's hut.
You have done well, Zozo, and proven you are worthy. I'll teach you my special technique, Ultimate Slash. Much stronger than a regular slash. Use it wisely.
Thank you, Master. I will use it with honor. From day 63 to day 66, I returned to my base, only to see it under attack by a gang of dread ghouls straight from the Shogun's palace. Hey, get away from my base! I pulled out my diamond katana and ran in, taking them out with my ninja speed and ultimate slashes. It didn't take long for me to defeat them all, and that's when the Desert Lord ran up to me.
Zozo, we need your help. Some of those dread ghouls kidnapped Polly, the pink pixie. We need to get her back.
Oh no, where did they take her?
Out into the ebony forest. You need to get after them, quickly.
Don't worry, Desert Lord, I'm on it. From day 67 to day 70, I used my ninja speed to run back through the ebony forest looking for the dread ghouls that kidnapped Polly. It didn't take long for me to find them. Don't worry, Polly, I'm coming to save you! Thanks to all my training, these dread ghouls weren't a challenge for me. I slashed through them with my diamond katana until only me and Polly remained.
That was amazing, Zozo, thank you. You saved my life from all those dread ghouls.
I'm so sorry for ever letting you get kidnapped in the first place, Polly. Let's go back to the base. We returned to the base, and I decided that after all this, I needed to put in an extra line of defense, building a defensive wall around the base's entrance. Better safe than sorry. I can't risk another attack while I'm away like that again. From day 71 to day 74, I wasn't sure where to go next. I knew that I needed to defeat the Crimson Wizard before I could take on Shogun Skull himself, but I wasn't sure where to find him. So instead, I decided to go back to one of the deadliest enemies I'd left behind before. With my new skills and my diamond katana, I returned to the underground cavern where I'd faced the Hydra before. As soon as I entered the cave, I blasted him with a powerful sonic boom, momentarily stunning him, and ran in with my ninja speed, hitting him with ultimate slash again and again, faster than he could even regenerate from it. Thankfully for both of us, the Hydra tapped out and agreed to tell me anything I wanted to know.
You're looking for the Crimson Wizard, right? No worries, I know exactly where he is. You just need to go to the Weeping Witch Forest. He's guarded by some brigands. Just go after him and leave me alone, please.
I left the Hydra to his own devices and ran off. I had a Crimson Wizard to defeat. From day 75 to day 78, I followed the advice given to me by the Hydra and traveled all the way to the Weeping Witch Forest. A place like this is a perfect hideout for an evil wizard. Why didn't I think of this sooner? I continued to go further in until I fell down a hill and found myself surrounded by brigands, just like the Hydra told me.
You wandered right into our traps, Zozo. There's no way you're ever gonna escape us here.
I don't want to escape, brigand. You and your bosses are the ones I've come here for. With my ninja speed and my diamond katana, I zipped from brigand to brigand, taking out each one with a single strike. Once they were down, all that was left to do was hunt down the Crimson Wizard. But the last thing I expected was for him to come to me instead. The Crimson Wizard appeared right in front of me and fired an energy blast that took out a number of my hearts. It was clear that he was the strongest of the Shogun Skull's 3 elite warriors.
This is hardly even a challenge. Why don't you show me your good time, Zozo? Have you come this far just to perish?
How's this for a good time? While the Crimson Wizard was distracted by his own gloating, I ran in and struck him with my katana, hitting him so hard and fast, he was immediately destroyed! Probably should have fully defeated me before you started bragging, Crimson Wizard. And this means that I've defeated all 3 of the Elite Warriors! And that clearly meant something, because I leveled up into my strongest form yet, with 60 hearts! It's time to finally defeat Shogun Skull! From day 79 to day 84, I returned to my base to give Polly the Pink Pixie and the Desert Lord the good news. They looked amazed at my size and abilities.
This is incredible, Zozo.
It's amazing to see how far you've come, Zozo. We're so proud of you. Thanks, guys. I think I'm ready to defeat Shogun Skull. Do you have any idea where I can find the Shogun's palace? I can help you there, Zozo. I went there once. It's deep in the Zelkova forest, and I can lead you there. Thank you, Desert Lord. Let's go! From day 85 to day 89, the Desert Lord and I traveled to the far east, into the Zelkova forest. We stopped for a moment for one last discussion. Desert Lord, it'll be too dangerous from here. I'll go alone. Are you sure, Zozo? I don't want you to get hurt. It's okay. I've been training for almost 100 days. I believe I can do this. Okay, Zozo. I wish you luck. And with that, the Desert Lord and I went our separate ways. From day 90 to day 94, I traveled deeper into the Zelkova forest, searching for the Shogun's palace. It's gotta be around here somewhere. Where could Shogun Skull be hiding?
Right behind you.
I turned around just in time to see Shogun Skull standing right behind me. Before I could fight back, he hit me and everything went black. When I woke up again, I was in the Badlands, miles away from where I was supposed to be, with Osiris standing right in front of me. You're not who I wanted to fight, but I guess you'll have to do. I still had my diamond katana, thankfully, and used Ultimate Slash on Osiris. He wasn't that hard to defeat, but knowing how far I was behind on my plans to defeat Shogun Skull now, I felt terrible. All I could do was make my way back to my base and figure out a new plan. This is gonna be a long week. From day 95 to day 97, I continued making my way back through the Badlands, frustrated that Shogun Skull and his minions had put me so far behind schedule. And speak of the devil, a gang of dread ghouls emerged from behind some rocks.
It's over, Zozo. We're going to be the ones to take you down.
Better mobs have tried and failed. I don't fancy your chances. I didn't have much time to waste on these guys, so I hit them with a sonic boom, then finished the rest of them off with a diamond katana. Shogun Skull, your end is near. On day 98, I returned to my base, exhausted from all the setbacks that had slowed me down and gotten in my way. I returned to find Polly the Pink Pixie and the Desert Lord waiting outside and looking equally sad for me. I'm so sorry that all of this happened, Zozo. You've been facing the impossible. Perhaps we put too much pressure on you.
Maybe the Desert Lord is right, Zozo. It took a whole organization of Warden ninjas to deliver Shogun Skull into power. Maybe it was just wishful thinking to believe that one Warden ninja would be enough to overthrow him.
Guys, we can't afford to think like that. We need hope if we were ever going to win this thing. Shogun Skull is throwing everything at us, and that's because he's scared. Because he knows, deep down, that I can defeat him. So let's keep pushing and prove that evil jerk right. That seemed to pep them both back up, and if you want to support our adventures and see more, be sure to hit like and subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss another Zozo video. Zozo, if you believe it's truly time for the final battle, I'll lead you to the Shogun's palace again. Let's bring his reign of terror to an end, once and for all. That's what I'm talking about. Lead the way, Desert Lord. I'm ready to do this. On day 99, following the Desert Lord through the Zelkova forest, I reached the Shogun's palace where we bid farewell. Of course, Shogun Skull was never gonna let me just waltz in. The gates opened, and first, he sent out a band of brigands to attack me.
We've been promised a real good payday if we can destroy you, Zozo.
That's money you'll never get to spend. I ran in with my diamond katana, supported by my now iron willpower. I'd never let these brigands defeat me. I kept fighting until not a single one of them was left, and only I was standing.
Who's next, Shogun Skull? I can take anyone you throw at me. But the next group of mobs didn't come from the palace. They snuck up behind me. It was a gang of silent assassins. They were much tougher than the brigands, but with my expert diamond katana skills, I was able to still defeat them all. By this point, I was getting tired, but I still had the will to fight. Is that all you got, Shogun? The gates opened again, and out stepped a huge warrior. It was the bandit warlord, the leader of the brigands who'd helped the Shogun rise to power all those years ago.
Your army, Zozo! You've destroyed so many of my brigands! Do you have any idea how much effort it will take to replace them all? For that, I've decided I'm going to destroy you myself!
Not if I have anything to say about it! I unleashed my sonic boom, blasting the bandit warlord right in the chest. But he tanked it. He was completely unharmed.
Ha! Pathetic! That barely tickled! Do you really think such a feeble attempt would really defeat me, the mighty bandit chief, second only to the Shogun himself? This is going to be fun!
Worried that this could be the end, I pulled out one of my axes and threw it directly at the bandit warlord. To my surprise, it destroyed him instantly. Oh, I guess he was just bragging. Huh. With his guard force taken care of, all that was left was to enter the palace and battle the Shogun himself. On day 100, I entered the Shogun's palace and found the man himself, Shogun Skull, waiting for me.
Well done, Zozo. You've proven yourself and fought with honor. For that, I will give you the privilege of a warrior's death. You deserve little else.
All that bluster can't disguise how scared you are, Shogun Skull. I know the truth. You never would have gotten to where you are without people like me. And what the Warden Ninja gives, the Warden Ninja can take away. That's the true way of the ninja.
How arrogant, Zozo. Do you really believe you can take away this?
Shogun Skull began to transform into an even larger, more dangerous version of himself. The strongest I'd ever seen him.
No more talking, Zozo. It ends now.
Well, at least we can agree on that. The battle began. The two of us clashed katanas. We seemed equally matched in skill, but because of his dark magic, Shogun Skull was bigger and stronger. For a moment, I was worried it was over for me, when suddenly my warrior spirit kicked back in, and I found the will to fight again, and I also miraculously regained all of my health. I fought harder than I ever had before, hitting Shogun Skull again and again and again, until he was almost defeated. I'd never seen him look so weak and helpless. I charged up all of my strength, and with a single blast of my sonic boom, Shogun Skull was destroyed. And peace restored to the land once more. I love a happy ending. On day 1, I spawned into the Autumnal Valley as an itty-bitty baby Steve. Ah, this is no fun. Who wants to be a baby? I'm so small and weak. At least the valley was peaceful, and I was surrounded by adorable fluffy mystery sheep. They comforted me in my frightened baby state. Suddenly, a huge gold-plated bully walks towards me. Just seeing him made me feel nervous.
Well, looky here, if it isn't the new meat. A silly little baby, thinking he can just wander around the fields. But I'm Midas, and these are my fields, dork, and there are no babies allowed.
I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, mister. I didn't mean to trespass. My name's Zozo. I'm just trying to understand what's happening here.
Zozo? Nah, I'm gonna call you Bozo from now on. That's much more fitting for a silly little baby clown like you.
Why are you so mean?
Cause when you're the strongest, you get to be mean, like this.
He fired an energy blast that vaporized all the mystery sheep around me. I was horrified by it all.
That's gonna happen to you too over the next 100 days, unless you get strong too. I'm gonna get you, Bozo.
I felt so mad about how he treated me, but I wasn't strong enough to fight back. All I could do was run away as fast as I could. I don't care what he says. I will get strong enough to stand up for myself in 100 days. On day 2, I continued running through the autumnal field and didn't stop until I was absolutely sure that Midas the Bully wasn't somewhere behind me. Phew, that was a close one. I only have 5 hearts, so I can't afford to let someone as powerful as him get the jump on me like that. I still feel terrible for those mystery sheep though. My knees started to hurt from all the running, so I started crawling around. The autumnal valley didn't seem so sweet and peaceful anymore. To a little baby like me, everything seemed almost too scary to handle. I hope I can find someone around here who will agree to help me. But because I wasn't very lucky, I instead ran into a group of mean-looking skeleton jackals. Excuse me, guys, but would any of you be able to help a little baby like me? I'm lost and afraid. But the skeleton jackals just started laughing and laughing.
Oh, this is priceless. What a little baby dork. You must be Bozo. Midas told us all about you when he sent us out to look for the little lame-o who was trespassing in his valley.
What? You work for Midas the Bully? But why? He's so mean.
Sure, he's mean, but if you side with the bully and help him bully others, then they won't bully you.
That's a terrible message. We should all stick up for each other.
Ha! Spoken like a true bozo. Let's get him, boys.
I had to run away again because there was no way I could take those guys on. It made me feel so weak and cowardly, but there was nothing else I could do. When I outran the skeleton jackals, I stopped in a clearing to cry. That's when a friendly pig wearing a crown approached me.
Are you all right there, little one?
No, I'm not. I've only been here for 2 days, and everyone is mean to me.
Oh, that's no good. I'm the King Pig, and I won't stand for any of that sort of rubbish in my kingdom. Come with me, little one.
Okay. So I followed the King Pig out of the autumnal valley. On day 3, the King Pig led me out into the blue taiga where there was a small school building.
Do not worry, little Zozo. This is the Blue Tiger School. It is a safe place for children, and a good friend of mine runs it.
I entered the school, and that good friend turned out to be the Water Elemental, the teacher who taught anyone passing through the blue taiga.
Good heavens, you poor thing! Look at you! I'm so sorry that some of the people you've met in the overworld have treated you poorly, Zozo. But I promise that you will always have a safe place here.
Thank you, Mr. Water Elemental. It was also very kind of the King Pig to bring me here. It makes me feel a whole lot better after my incident with Midas the Bully and all his goons.
Midas, a truly nasty man. An ex-student of mine. Actually, I expelled him from the school years ago for bullying other students. As sad as I am to say it, I don't think he'll ever change.
What do you think I should do, teacher?
Honestly, little Zozo, I think the ultimate solution is to train hard enough that you're strong enough to defeat him, for the sake of everyone. There's a nice place called the Amaranth Fields near here. That might be a good spot to begin your work.
Thank you, Mr. Water Elemental. I won't let you down. So King Pig and I set off for the Amaranth Fields, ready to begin the process of taking Midas the Bully down once and for all. From day 4 to day 5, King Pig and I arrived at the Amaranth Fields. There were enough wide open plains for it to be perfect to make a base. But first, I broke down a tree and made myself a crafting bench and a wooden pickaxe. Then mined into the ground for my first stone blocks. Now I'm feeling less like a baby already. I built myself a furnace, a stone pickaxe, and a stone sword. King Pig, Your Highness, is it alright for a baby to hold a sword?
It's okay with adult supervision, Zozo. And I'm 47.
Well, okay then. I continued mining and collecting stone and wood until I had enough to start building a basic base, with a room for me and a room for King Pig. It wasn't much, but it will be enough for now.
This base is looking good, Zozo. It's not quite fit for a king just yet, but you're getting there.
Then, a problem came up. A small swarm of golden devourers tried attacking my base, and I was forced to use my sword to fight them all off. Get out of here, you nasty little critters! I've had enough meanies this week. But when they were defeated, something amazing happened. I had enough XP to level up, becoming a slightly bigger baby with 20 hearts and the ability to crawl up walls. I guess it makes sense for a baby to be really good at crawling. From day 6 to day 8, given a little more confidence by my new power and new hearts, I decided to venture out to the mangrove marshes where I could hopefully learn more about being strong and tough. It seemed like a nice enough place until I saw an ancient Egyptian guy being attacked by a nasty bunch of sectoid soldiers. I couldn't let them get away with that. Don't worry, I'm here to help. Baby to the rescue! I pulled out my stone sword and ran in, defeating all the sectoid soldiers with the element of surprise. When I was done, it was just me and the ancient Egyptian left.
Thank you very much, my friend. I'm Seth. You saved my life just then.
Don't mention it, Seth. I'm Zozo, and I'm just trying to learn to be stronger, so any combat experience is helpful.
Well, in that case, we may be able to help each other. You see, Zozo, you may think this is bad, but there's a far worse pest problem out in the Cypress swampland. Think you can help me deal with it?
Of course! Lead the way, Seth! So Seth led the way, and I followed him. From day 9 to day 10, I followed Seth out into the Cypress swamplands, ready to take on whatever pest problem he was dealing with. I mean, it's only bugs. How scary can it really be? I changed my tune when I saw the pest that Seth was talking about. A giant, terrifying mummy scorpion! Okay, this may be a bit more challenging than I thought. While Seth stood back in the shadows, I pulled out my stone sword and ran into battle with the mummy scorpion. But my sword strikes didn't do any damage. But when the mummy scorpion hit back, it took off several hearts in one hit. I needed to get out of there as quickly as possible. I ran away from the angry mummy scorpion, yelling for my life, until I was out of there. Seth was waiting for me.
So, Zozo, did you manage to defeat the mummy scorpion?
I'm so sorry, Seth, but I'm still too much of a baby to defeat him. Want to come back to my base in the meantime? I'm sure we can get something figured out.
Thank you, Zozo. That's very kind of you. I'll follow you back.
And with that, we headed back towards my base in the Amaranth Fields. From day 11 to day 12, I arrived back at my base with Seth and immediately started working on adding an additional house for him to sleep in. Having 2 of my new friends here definitely makes me feel safer. After all, babies shouldn't be left alone for too long. Once I was done with Seth's room, he came over to me to share some exciting news.
Zozo, since you were so kind as to let me stay on your base with you, I took the liberty of building you a little upgrade. Come with me, I'll show you.
Oh, Seth, you really shouldn't have. That's just too kind of you. He led me over to a new room he'd created, a super cool storage area where we could keep gear, weapons, and supplies. This is awesome, Seth, thank you. This room is gonna come in so handy.
Perhaps more than you even know, Zozo. I've come to understand that Midas the Bully is after you. Don't let the juvenile name fool you. He's an extremely dangerous fighter and magic user. To take him on, you're going to need the best weapons you can muster.
Feeling inspired by Seth's words of warning, I made my way to a deep cave not far from my base and started mining. There, I found some iron ore, which I took back to the furnace on my base and smelted into iron ingots. Before I knew it, I had an iron sword and an iron pickaxe. A baby with an iron sword. This is just crazy, but I guess I'll go with it. And of course, a sword is no good if you don't have supplies. That's why I made a paddock on my base and herded some mystery sheep into it. After all, you never know when you're gonna need the wool. From day 13 to day 15, I wasn't sure what I needed to do to get stronger, so I went to my oldest friend, King Pig. Your Majesty, I'm not sure how to get strong enough to defeat Midas the Bully. I know I've got a better sword now, but I'm still a tiny, weak baby.
Well, one of the best ways to grow big and strong is to have a healthy diet, my boy. And for what it's worth, I've heard the delicious apples on the Dover Mountains have particularly special properties.
Then I'll head straight to the Dover Mountains. Thank you, King Pig. But the journey up and into the Dover Mountains wasn't easy. Thankfully, due to my climbing ability, I didn't fall, but it still took me a whole day just to get up there. And when I did, I noticed something terrible. There were apple trees, but no apples. Where could they have gone? That's when I turned and saw a massive skulk scorpion creeping towards me. Oh no, the scorpion must have eaten all the apples. It attacked me, and I needed to fend it off with my new iron sword. It was hard work for a little baby, but I still managed to defeat it. And when it went down, it dropped a special Dover Mountain apple. Time for a post-victory snack. When I ate the apple, I immediately started growing and becoming more powerful. I now had 50 hearts and the ability to quickly build walls. I'm one buff baby now. From day 16 to day 19, I wanted to go somewhere a little less challenging than the Dover Mountains, so I settled for the charming Evergreen Hills instead. Wow, the scenery here is lovely. If only I had a book to just sit around and read. This would be the perfect afternoon. And as if by magic, I ran into a book on the ground. I picked it up and saw that its title was The Tragedy of Midas. This sounds like an educational read. I started reading a passage that said, once, the one known as Midas was small and weak. He was picked on and grew to spite everyone around him. He got strong and grew his fortune, covering himself in gold. He then became a bully himself, just like the ones who bullied him. But my reading was interrupted by a gang of Midas the Bully's skeleton jackals that came towards me.
Look at that nerd! Reading! How'd you like that book, bozo? Is it teaching you how to be less lame?
Oh, it's teaching me that your boss is even more small and insecure than I thought.
Hey, nobody gets to talk about Midas that way. He's the #1 bully around here. Let's get him, boys.
The skeleton jackals attacked me, but this time I wasn't going to run away. With my iron sword, I took them on and defeated every last one of them. When I'm done, their #1 bully is gonna be the world's biggest zero. From day 20 to day 22, while wandering back towards my base in the amaranth fields, I was attacked by a group of feral swamp spiders. Thankfully, I was able to defeat them easily with how strong I was getting now. No spider is tough enough to defeat Zozo, even as a little baby. After defeating the swamp spiders, I returned to the deep cave near my base, where I mined some more iron ore. I took it back to my base and used the furnace to smelt it. Then I crafted it into a full set of iron armor. Gotta stay safe out there. With my new sword and my new armor, and with the knowledge that I'd already beaten a skulk scorpion, I went all the way back to the cypress swamplands to settle an old score, defeating the mummy scorpion. He won't chase me away this time. I tracked down the mummy scorpion, and this time I defeated him easily. I felt on top of the world, knowing Seth was going to be so proud of me, until Midas the bully himself stepped out of the trees.
Feel like a big man for wasting some goofy spider, huh, bozo? You're still just a tiny little baby to me.
Midas, why don't you come over here and fight me rather than just calling me mean names?
Fight you? Kid, I'd squish you like a bug. And believe me, I will someday, but not yet. I want you to become more of a challenge first. Later, bozo.
Midas ran away before I could say another word to him. From day 23 to day 26, I returned to my base, feeling upset for my encounter with Midas, but proud of myself for finally defeating the mummy scorpion. I approached Seth with the good news. Seth, I defeated the mummy scorpion. The cypress swamplands are now clear of monsters.
That's fantastic, Zozo. Thank you so much. I'm going to do something to repay you for this. Stay tuned.
While Seth went to work on some mysterious project, I decided it was now time to improve my sword. I repaired it and applied the fire aspect enchantment, giving my sword a fiery power boost. Once the upgrade on my awesome sword was done, Seth came and led me over to his gift. He'd built a secret underground safe room under the base.
Now, if anyone attacks and they're too strong to fight off, we can hide down here and we'll be safe until they leave.
This is an amazing upgrade, Seth, and hopefully we'll never need to use it. From day 27 to day 31, I went back out to the Evergreen Hills where I'd defeated those evil skeleton jackals before, hoping to find something else of use there. Instead, I found a small group of sky lizards sitting around, looking relieved.
You! Are you the one they call, Bozo?
It's Zozo, actually.
Well, Zozo, we wanted to thank you. We heard that you destroyed a group of skeleton jackals here, and those skeleton jackals had been hassling us for years. We just wanted to say thank you.
No problem. I just wanted to do the right thing. I'm glad everything is okay now.
Well, not exactly everything is okay. We've been hassled by other creatures and monsters too. It's hard to live out here.
Then why don't you come live with me for a while? At least until I've defeated Midas the Bully.
Thank you, Zozo. We'll head over there immediately.
I went back to the base too and decided to get some much needed rest by sitting down on a nearby hill and enjoying the view of my base. Just as I was standing back and appreciating my hard work, King Pig ran over to me in a panic.
Zozo, we need to go to the Blue Tiger School immediately. Something terrible is happening.
From day 32 to day 35, King Pig and I ran to the Blue Taiga school as fast as we could, but it may have already been too late. The Blue Taiga school was under attack from a swarm of skeleton jackals sent directly by Midas the bully. Oh no, we need to stop them! I ran in to help, attacking the different skeleton jackals, but I couldn't save the water elemental. He was destroyed in the confusion. No, water elemental! I went into full rage mode after that, taking out every single one of the skeleton jackals. But even though they were gone, there was no bringing back the water elemental. I'm sorry, King Pig, we lost him.
This is a truly terrible day, Zozo.
From day 36 to day 39, I went back to the mangrove marshes. I needed to be alone and clear my head. I still felt so guilty about not being able to save the water elemental. But then, as I was traveling through the marshes, I happened upon an air elemental, and he looked like he needed help. He reminded me of my old elemental friend, so I really wanted to see if I could help out.
I've lived in these marshes for years, but recently a bubble monster moved in, and it's been ruining everything. I may need your help to stop it, Zozo.
Of course, Air Elemental. I'll go see what I can do. I ran deeper into the marshes, excited by the thought that I might be able to do a good deed and make a difference. I'm coming for you, bubble monster. When I found the beast, it didn't take long to defeat, especially with the fire aspect enchantment on my sword. Once this dirty bubble was defeated, I ran back to the air elemental as fast as I could.
You have done me a great kindness, Zozo. In return, I will give you one cryptic clue. Midas lurks in a forgotten place.
And with that, the air elemental disappeared, and he was right. That was a very cryptic clue. From day 40 to day 43, I returned to my base and found that King Pig had made an amazing improvement to my base. A statue of the water elemental, so we would always remember him. That was so kind of you, King Pig. If the water elemental was here, he'd really appreciate this.
Thank you, Zozo. Also, I was wondering if I could ask a favor. My friends, the gold pigs, need to leave my kingdom for a while to be safe from Midas. Can they stay here until we've defeated him?
Of course they can. Call them over whenever you're ready, Your Majesty. And he did. A day later, a group of gold pigs arrived and came to stay in the new house that King Pig had created for them. So many people live here now. It makes me feel so safe. Speaking of people who lived in my base now, one of the sky lizards ran over to me with some exciting news.
Zozo, you must head to the flowering ancient forest at once. We believe that Midas the bully is already there.
From day 44 to day 49, I followed the tip from the sky lizard and traveled to the flowering ancient forest to find Midas the bully. As I was looking for him, Midas himself jumped out from behind a tree.
Well, if it isn't Bozo! What's up, little clown?
I'm not a clown, and you know my name is Zozo. You've been pushing everyone around for too long. We'll see how funny you think it is when I finally stop you from bullying everyone.
Yeah? Good luck with that, clown. You see my gold armor? No one can get me when I'm wearing this. And once I've got my hands on all the gold, no one will ever be able to stand up to me.
All the gold? You're just going to steal it?
I'm gonna make everyone so afraid of me that they'll just hand it over like the sad little cowards they are.
That's terrible.
Too bad, so sad. Anyway, wish I could stick around to kick your butt, but that would be a waste of my time. I'll have my buddy here do it instead. Come on out, Horace.
Who's Horace?
Me.
Horace appeared out of nowhere, and Midas ran off. Uh-oh, this guy seems pretty strong. I knew I was in for a tough fight. From day 50 to day 53, I started my battle against Horace in the flowering ancient forest. He was a lot more powerful than I expected, but I was still holding my own.
Had enough yet, Bozo?
No way! I'm not backing down.
Then I guess I'll just have to make you.
He hit me hard, knocking me back, and I almost fell over. But I got my balance back and came back at him just as hard. The fire aspect enchantment on my sword helped me finally defeat him, and I took a second to catch my breath. That was a close one. Hey, what's that? Looks like he dropped something. There was a baseball bat on the ground. I've heard these can freeze mobs for a couple of seconds. This is gonna be super useful. I also spotted a part of a book. Hey, this looks like a page from a diary. It says Midas on it.
Dear diary, I sure hope no one finds out the reason I wear all of this armor. I'm not a very good fighter. I'm just good at dodging and taking lots of damage. If someone found a way to freeze me or damage my armor, I'd be in big trouble. Good thing I'll never tell anyone my secret.
Oh boy, I'm glad I found this. From day 54 to day 57, I got ready to head back to my base. But as I was preparing to leave the flowering ancient forest, an ender creeper ambushed me. Ah, you get out of here! Don't blow up on me! I used my new bat to freeze the ender creeper for a few seconds, giving me plenty of time to defeat it before it could explode. This bat is pretty awesome! When I beat it, the ender creeper dropped a potion of strength. I picked it up. Great! I can take this back to my base. With my new bat and my potion of strength, I headed back to my base to tell my friends all about it. I found the sky lizard waiting for me there.
Hi, Zozo. How did it go?
I couldn't defeat Midas yet, but I got this bat and this potion, and I learned some new information that I think will help.
That's great news.
From day 58 to day 62, I decided to take time to make some improvements to my base. I expanded my paddock to make room for more sheep. We're gonna have so much wool! Sweaters for everyone, or whatever else we can make with it. Speaking of which, come here, little sheep. Let's give you a haircut. I harvested some wool from the mystery sheep. When I was done with that, I decided to keep the resource gathering train going. I headed down into the mines in the deep cave and started digging. Phew, mining sure is hard work, but it's worth it. As soon as I said that, I found some diamonds. I gathered them and brought them back to my base. I was able to use the diamonds to craft a diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. I'm making great progress. Look out, Midas. We'll see how your gold does against my diamonds. One of the sky lizards came up to me as I finished crafting my diamond gear.
Zozo, come look. I added some more bedrooms to the base, in case any more friends need to come and stay here.
I followed him and saw all the rooms he had added onto the base. Wow, this must have taken ages. Thank you so much. Anyone who needs a safe place to hide from Midas the Bully can come here now. With the help of my friends, even though I'm a baby, I feel big and strong. From day 63 to day 66, Seth approached me at the base.
Zozo, I have information about where Midas might have gone. I heard he likes to stomp on flowers, big meanie that he is. Is there anywhere with lots of pretty flowers he might have gone to?
I don't know.
Wait a second. Maybe you should check the flowering enchanted forest.
I traveled to the flowering enchanted forest and kept my eyes peeled for the glint of gold that meant Midas the Bully was hiding there. I didn't see Midas, but I did see a fire elemental running right at me.
Zozo, is that you?
Oh geez, no, it's Zozo! I grabbed my sword. I guess you're here to fight me for Midas, huh?
What? No, I'd never work for that guy. I heard you were someone to go to for help. I need help getting this ghost miner to leave me and my family alone. He's trying to kick us out of our house and wants us to give him all of our gold.
That's despicable. He must be working for Midas. Don't worry, I'll see what I can do. From day 67 to day 70, I followed the fire elemental to his house. Sure enough, there was a ghost miner trying to break down one of the walls.
Looks like my grandma is still inside. Hurry, please.
Hold on, Granny Fire Elemental, I'm coming. I got my sword ready and rushed towards the ghost miner. He was chipping away at the wall of the house, but when he saw me coming, he stopped and turned his focus on me. He was strong, definitely the strongest enemy I'd fought so far, but I still managed to finally defeat him. It's safe now. No one will try to destroy your home again.
Thank you, Bozo. I'll never forget what you did for us today.
No problem. My name is Zozo, though. Could you spread the word? Midas the Bully started calling me the wrong name, and I really don't want it to stick. I may be a baby, but I'm no clown.
You got it. It's the least I can do. If you ever need a fire elemental, you know where to find me. Or you can just come over for dinner sometime.
Yum! Sounds like a plan. From day 71 to day 74, I kept exploring the flowering enchanted forest, keeping an eye out for smushed flowers. I know if I see something that's messed up, Midas can't be far. As I walked, taking in the beautiful scenery, a bee came buzzing by me. Hello, little bee.
Hello, Zozo. Say, if you're enjoying this adventure and want to see more, make sure to subscribe and find other adventures by searching ZOZO. Anyway, I've got to buzz off. Bye!
Thanks for the tip, Bee. Now back to searching for that bully.
Talking about me, bozo?
I could see Midas just up ahead of me, stomping on a flower. Why would you destroy something so pretty? These flowers aren't hurting anyone.
Flowers are for losers and dweebs. Who needs them? You probably love flowers, don't you, bozo? I could stomp on you just like these flowers. You're just as weak.
No, I'm not. I'm getting stronger all the time.
Huh, oh yeah? You think you're strong enough to fight me?
I tried to get my bat so I could freeze him for a few seconds, but I wasn't quick enough. He rushed at me and overwhelmed me. I had to run. I ran to a safer place and stopped to collect my thoughts. Next time I'll be ready. Next time I'll be stronger.
That's right. You better run.
From day 75 to day 78, I returned to my base, feeling pretty down about the fight with Midas. All I wanted to do was lie down and take a nap, but I couldn't even fall asleep. I can't believe I had to run away. After I talked all that talk about being stronger, I still wasn't strong enough to take Midas on. Maybe he's right. Maybe I am just a silly little clown baby. I'll never win.
Knock knock, can I come in?
Sure, go ahead.
I thought you might want to see some improvements I've made to the base. Come on, take a look.
Okay, I'll check it out. While I was gone, King Pig had added a bunch of decorative lanterns to the base. It made the whole place look way nicer, and even though I was still bummed out, it definitely cheered me up. This is really nice and calming in a way. One of the sky lizards came running over to me.
Zozo! Zozo! Look what I found! It's a potion. I think it'll make you stronger. Try it and see what happens.
Sure, I might as well. I drank the potion, and to my surprise, I felt myself getting bigger and stronger. I was growing up. My heart's increased to 100. Thank you. I feel so much better now. I had a tough time before, but I just know I'll be able to take down Midas soon. From day 79 to day 84, I decided to take my new confidence back to the flowering enchanted forest to see if Midas was still there. This time, I'll show him. He'll see that I'm not a clown at all, and he can't pick on me anymore. I looked all around, but I couldn't see Midas anywhere. I saw some sectoid guards though, and I was able to test out my new strength by fighting them off. It was much easier than fighting the sectoid soldiers from before. I'm definitely getting better at this. When I finished battling the sectoid guards, a rich mummy came to me.
Say, old chap, that was impressive. Tell me, how did you become such a talented fighter?
Lots of practice, some special potions, and the support of my friends.
Righto! Splendid work, my lad. A warrior of your caliber deserves the finest quality armor. Why, I have just the thing. I don't have any use for it myself. I have so much wealth already. Please, take this netherite helmet and put it to good use.
Really? Thank you so much.
No trouble at all, old sport. Give that wretched bully Midas what for. Ta-ta!
After giving me the helmet, the rich mummy ran away and disappeared. What a weird guy, but this is a really nice gift. It'll help protect me the next time I see Midas. From day 85 to day 89, I returned to my base, only to find that more of Midas the Bully's skeleton jackals were attacking my base, trying to break down the structures. Hey, me and my friends worked hard on those. How dare you?
Oh, this was your house? We thought it was just a big pile of trash someone left in the field. It'll probably look better once we're done.
You big jerks! I'm not gonna take that! In my pure anger at being attacked like this, I went into a rage frenzy and started knocking them out one by one. But some of them managed to escape during the chaos. I knocked out the remaining ones and decided to give chase. Chasing them outside of my base, I noticed that I wasn't fast enough to catch up. During my chase, I suddenly saw a lone saber-toothed pig just standing around in the field and crying. What's wrong, saber-toothed pig?
Those big, mean skeleton jackals came through here, and they called me ugly. And now I feel horrible about myself.
Oh no, that isn't fair. For what it's worth, as saber-toothed pigs go, I think you have a certain handsome charm. But at the end of the day, it's what's on the inside that counts. The only truly ugly thing is to be mean to people.
You're right, Zozo. Thank you. That made me feel a lot better.
No problem. And if you'll excuse me, I need to chase those meanies down.
Go get 'em, Zozo!
From day 90 to day 94, I chased the gang of skeleton jackals into the Forgotten Forest. Eventually, we found a dead end. I had them backed into a corner. Ready to face the consequences of your bullying ways, skeleton jackals? But they just started laughing at me.
You fool! You fell right into our trap! You think we're nasty? Meet Midas's best friend. He's gonna get all the gold now!
A huge, buff Pigless walked in and the skeleton jackals ran off. He must have been Midas's best friend, and it was certainly scary to be standing in front of him. You can leave now, there's no need to fight. But Pigless didn't seem to listen to me, so I walked in and hit him with my baseball bat. He wasn't even affected. This is gonna be a tough one. From day 95 to day 97, the real fight between me and that huge, buff Pigless began. Every hit from him took down my hearts massively. I was lucky that I had 100 of them, or I would have been doomed. I kept hitting him with my diamond sword until the Pigless was finally defeated. And when he went down, he dropped a book I never expected to see. It was marked The Diary of Midas. Wow, another extract from Midas's diary. Pigless must have really been Midas's best friend if he trusted the guy to carry his diary. Of course, I opened up the diary and started reading, and I didn't believe what I was seeing inside. It said,
Another day trying to get rid of Zozo. I feel like I'm so anxious all the time. It's so difficult to pretend to be big and tough all the time, but it's the only way people will respect you. Zozo, he seems like he's actually strong, and people like him too. I need to get rid of him quickly, or I think he might actually defeat me.
I was blown away by what I'd read. So deep down, Midas is the most scared and insecure of all. And he's afraid that I'll defeat him. If he believes I can, then I believe I can too. I ran back to my base, ready to make the final preparations. I was gonna take down Midas. On day 98, I came back to my base, feeling more motivated than ever to complete my quest and end the reign of the overworld's #1 bully once and for all. King Pig, Sky Lizard, and Seth gathered up around me, ready to see me off. It's time, everyone. I'm going to Midas's base to defeat him once and for all and free the land from fear and bullying.
Hear, hear, Zozo. You've always looked out for us, and I'm proud of you for seeing this through all the way. You're a true hero for doing this.
I agree. Ever since you first saved me from those sectoids and helped me defeat that mummy scorpion, I knew you had it in you to save the world. You've got a hero spirit, and you can do this.
But I don't want to send you into the lion's den. Let me come and help you, Zozo. You shouldn't have to do this alone.
It's okay, King Pig. I'm gonna do this myself. Knowing all of you believe in me is enough. On day 99, I made my way across the Dover Mountains, psyching myself up for the final battle against the bully who'd been hassling me for 99 days. I can't wait for this to finally be over, so me and my friends can all relax. On my way there, I ran into a yak who was casually grazing. Wish me luck, Mr. Yak. I'm on my way to defeat a major bully.
Good luck. Hope you don't get your butt kicked.
I kept going until I saw the last thing I wanted to see. A big gang of Midas's skeleton jackals ready to fight. Oh no, even I might be outnumbered here.
Think again!
I turned and saw that King Pig had been following me the whole time. King Pig, why are you here?
Because you need me, clearly! You've helped me a lot since you've come here, Zozo. Now it's time for me to help you. I'll distract all these nasty skeleton jackals. You go take down that big bully.
You're the best, King Pig. Let's do this! On day 100, I entered Midas the bully's lair by using my wall climbing abilities to get in past the walls. All that gold he's taken, you'd think he'd have invested in some better security. When I went in, Midas was the only one there. He seemed shocked to see me.
What? This is impossible! I sent out all my skeleton jackals to stop you. How could you have gotten past them?
Because I still have friends, unlike some people around here.
Big talk for such a little baby, bozo.
I may be a baby, Midas, but I'm not a coward. I know the truth. Pigless was carrying your diary, and I read it. You're afraid of me. You're afraid of everything. And rather than confront that, you're mean to everyone around you. I'm giving you one last chance to be better.
You read my diary? Oh, for that, I'm gonna pound you, you nasty little baby. This is the end.
Well, I can't say I didn't give you a chance. Midas fired an energy blast at me, but I used my quick building skills to build a wall between me and the blast. Now it was time to fight back. I chugged down the potion of strength I received earlier. There was no way he could stop me now. I ran out from behind the wall and took Midas by surprise and bonked him with my bat. Before Midas could stop me, I hit him again and again and again, cutting through his golden armor until the last strike defeated him for good. That's what you get for being a bully. And with Midas gone, the overworld was free to have fun once again.